Yo, yo. I'm on here. I mean, on the tail end of the Chargers and Chiefs game. I didn't get to come on last night. Pause, or no pun intended, should I say? But wanted to get on here and just talk to you guys because I hadn't gotten a chance to just give my spiel on how I felt about the game yesterday. And I got a few things to do. Number one, Matt Norris, man. I owe you an apology because I stated that I was going to mute you on Twitter, which is what I say in the chats all the time to you. But for those who don't know Matt is our resident Dak critic. I'll say I ain't gonna call you a hater, but he came on Twitter yesterday and was talking his talk, and everybody just started going ham on him. So, as I said, like I ain't trying to come at you, Matt. You know what I mean? He hit me up and he one of my moderators, so he hit me up and he's pissed off because he's like, "Oh man, why you sick him on me?" And I really didn't. They just they didn't like what you said, bro. But I will come on here and tell you, like, I wasn't coming for you. Because if I was, I would tell you. But I got a problem with you, man. So it's all good. But that's not what the show is about. Honestly, the way I looked at the broadcast game versus the way I looked at the film today was night and day. Because yesterday, I had, I guess, more issues than I have at this moment. But I'll start by saying though, like y'all really do know me. Like I don't chase narratives. I chase film. You know what I mean? I have to say that for those who don't know me because I realize people on Twitter, especially Eagles fans, but a lot of Cowboys fans too, they think that I'm out here chasing hot takes. I don't make hot takes. I don't. Any take that I give, it's not emotional. It's not about what's trending. I care about what's real, right? So if I say it, it's because I sat here and I watched the film. Even when I watched the game, like you guys will see me watching the game. I hope they don't flag me for this. But I watch the games on mute when I watch them, or I watch them, all 22, because I don't want to chase a narrative. Like I was listening last night, though. I did listen. I was listening to Chris Collinsworth talk about the need for Micah Parsons in this game, and he ignored the fact that we stopped the run better. He ignored the fact that we played better team defense. But the narrative, if you're just listening, is that Dak didn't play well, and we missed Micah Parsons because they wanted us to miss Micah Parsons. That was the narrative, and really not even hating on the guy because you already know Micah Parsons is still my favorite player in the league because I think he's the most talented player in the league on film from multiple positions when you choose to use him that way. If you're going to put him on edge, he's not my favorite, but solely edge, I mean. But either way, it's no hate. It's just I don't think the Cowboys missed him all that much yesterday. We had more pressures than we had last time he played. We had, same amount of sacks. So I don't see what the difference was. And we actually played the run a lot better. And we shut AJ Brown down, Smitty down, and minus that Dotson big catch. Uh, Hurts didn't do much at all. I don't think Hurts would have had maybe 100 yards passing had he not thrown that one bomb. That's it. You know what I mean? So, when I break down tape, I that's what I do. The truth jumps out every single time. That's why we all here right now because details don't lie. So, I'm going live just to talk about what I saw in the game. But more importantly, if you guys have been following me on Twitter, you see the things that Clayton Adams is doing, which is, popping. All right, but I'm gonna say my hellos, my what's ups, and all that good stuff. I see it's 43 of y'all in here on a Friday night. Y'all already know. Number one, before we even get to that, take a moment, man. It don't gotta be much, but definitely contribute to the Cash App because as you can see, this setup here, y'all ain't pay for that. I pay for that. You know what I mean? I'm not being smart when I say that, but everything you see here is, thousands and thousands of dollars worth of equipment that I don't monetize my page because of all the content from the NFL that I have to put up for your guys' pleasure and enjoyment. It costs me money. It doesn't make me money. I'm not asking you to make me money, but you definitely should help contribute to a show that you guys want to watch because I'm going to keep doing it anyway. So, you know what I mean? For those who can, definitely support via Cash App. And I ain't talking about a dollar, but damn sure ain't got to be 50 either. You get what I'm saying? So holla at me, man. Outside of that, though, let me say what's up. All right, Jay Bryant. This is the film I've been waiting for. Jay Money, he said, "What's up, my G? How's life?" Man, if I complained about it, nobody would give a damn. I see, so I don't even bother at this point. And I'm not saying that to be doom and gloom because my life is actually very, very good. But like anybody else, we all got our ups and downs. I'm not going through a down right now, but uh, we have them. Put it that way. I just don't look like what I've been through for real. You know what I mean? Outside of that, let's see, Big Flock 91. What it do, Akoye? What's up with you, Rody? Hawk and VA. I remember you, man. You a throwback. Hawk, I think, and I ain't trying to put your business out there. I think you're a trooper, right? Tell me if I'm wrong. And then if I'm right, that's how my memory recall is. Hawk, I ain't heard from you in years. But are you a trooper? I don't remember if it's you or not. For real, for real. But are you a trooper? Tell me in VA. If you are, then you know what I mean. I'm right. But drummer Cam, what's up? But I do remember your name, Hawk. Sadiqa, Akoye, my brother, boss. Boss in here? What up, boss? If he in here. Joel Johnson. Who else? Oh, Cowboy Politics. That's my man. What's up, man? Rich Coleman. Paul, my man too. Like we like almost like family, for real, for real. Our families are very close. Paul Wilson. You know what I mean? Philly product or Ben Salem product. You're not Philly product, Paul, but you're close enough. You like Philly suburbs product, but still Philly. You know what I mean? Touchdown Labs, what's up, man? Uh Jay Bryant, he said, Okoye, my brother. He said, "You're the GOAT, big dog." That's Tarek B. I appreciate that. I'll take that. I know I'm definitely the GOAT, I think. When it comes to film breakdown, and I said this, I was arguing with Eagles fans yesterday to the point where they actually, that's what was wild, but we gonna get into that. But they actually started agreeing with me by the end of the night, like you was right. But they don't even know what I do. So it's like I did more arguing with Cowboys fans that I still do. More arguing with Cowboys fans than I do anybody else. And that's what, is strange about this fan base. I'm not gonna keep ragging on the fans, but because obviously you want some of the demographic to bleed over, and I really don't give a fuck, but you want some of the demographic ideally to bleed over and watch you, maybe. But at the same time, they do a lot of strange things when it comes to players, and I want you guys to look at the stark contrast. Like you'll see players that may be trying to get a leg up on a certain team, on other teams, and their fan base supports them. Our fan base, we shit on everybody. I think Izaraku's already a bust, according to Twitter yesterday, because he got held on 2 spin moves, and they said he a bust already. And I no wonder why Mazi went the hell out of here. I would get the hell out of here too if I was him. But at the end of the day, that's wild that they go at him like that. Because you know what I mean, for real, for real. If you're a player that's looking for development and you're looking for growth in the system, you can turn it off if you want. Appreciate it. But if you're a player that's looking for growth and looking for consistency in the system, you ain't gonna find it here, man. You gotta hit the gate running. I mean, it gotta be a one night stand or the ancient man. You know what I mean? That's the way it is in Cowboy Nation, man. When you come here, you gotta be on point already. Are they not? You know what I mean? Are they not? He said, "No, I'm not." Damn, you ain't a fed. God, I put the law on him. My bad. If you hustle, for all the hustlers and the plugs out there, whatever you is, Hawk and VA is not one of them boys. You know what I'm saying? And he not one of them boys. Both ways. You know what I mean? What up, bro? Our interior line looks nice. Offense or defense? I saw changes. I hope. Yep. He said, "Please tell me you got film of that Trayvon Diggs blitz that he blew the tackle. That's a play you use all season." I got film of that. Yeah, I can pull all that up. I'm going to actually go through the game and just mess around. But first, I'm gonna look at some of the Clayton Adams blocking schemes. Man, I saw everything that you see. I mean, power, zone, pin and pulls, all kinds of shit. The shit that Miami and San Fran does when it comes to their unique trap blocks. Like they kind of have looping trap blocks with their fullbacks and their tight ends. Instead of going straight across the line on like a jet, they do those jet motions too. But they'll do like yo-yo motions. They'll do like it's just a lot of weird stuff going on, man. To the point where I think the last film that I enjoyed watching like this was and trust me, think about how good a coach has to be for you to enjoy watching silent all 22 footage. It's boring as fuck. It's only fun. That's why I put all the art on it because I want to make it exciting for the layman who doesn't know football. So if I make content for my daughter or my wife, if they don't know football and they want to get acclimated to it, I make it for them. Get what I'm saying? So it's like they can understand it. So easy a 5-year-old could understand it, or lady. And I don't mean a lady like y'all don't understand nothing. I mean like y'all just generally don't watch football, or at least mine, the people around me don't. So I make it for them. So I gotta be exciting, gotta be eye-catching, gotta keep your attention, right? But if you can keep my attention without all the bells and whistles, you a good offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, coach, whatever it is. Last one was Raheem Morris, I think, with the Rams when he was last year, the year before with the Rams. We were preparing for them, and I watched him confused me. I know Dak was confused because he confused the shit out of me. It was like so many different looks. Even when he gave you a cover two look, you have a safety rolled up high, but he playing man on the running back in the backfield, and he don't show that until maybe 3 seconds before the snap. It's like weird stuff was going on. He was robbing all over the field, but he have somebody playing man, and then he's playing cover three everywhere else, cover four. Then there's one guy playing man. He'll have his nickel following a guy, and then they'll play match. It was just I couldn't tell. I had to watch each play over and over again to kind of figure out what the hell is going on. So when you guys see the footage that's on Twitter like blown up, it's because I'm looking at it like, yo, what just happened? So I had to go and look at player for player. I'm just gonna blow up this one player. I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about real quick. Hold on. Take you to the lab. So I don't usually do this because I got a lot of people, and I'm not bragging when I say this, but it's a lot of people that popped up over the last 8 years and 9 years of me doing this shit that start trying to do what I do. And I'm like, I don't got a problem because I'm unique in my own way. So I don't got a problem showing people certain things. But when it's the public, I generally don't go do the straight breakdown in public. But I'm going to do a little bit of that today because I just don't give a fuck no more, man. I don't care. I don't care. I'm not trying to get well. I mean, not say that. I would get rich off this if I could, if I can, no problem. But it's not the goal. I don't do this because I'm looking for a payday. So if y'all bite it, if somebody bite it, I don't give a damn. Go ahead. But let's go. Let me show you something. Share screen and which app, which window. Here we go. Boom. All right, this the lab. Let me make sure y'all can see it though. Yep, y'all can see it. All right, let me blow this up. Boom. See. All right. Let me get back over here. Oh, let me finish talking to y'all first though before I start any of that. Here we go. Who else we got? We're gonna be a better team with young guys getting reps early. That's touchdown labs. I agree. I thought pass rush looked fine overall. Run defense was fine, just inflated from Jalen runs. Yeah, Jalen put up 60 yards, but had he not done, had they spied in the first half, uh, that game is not only won, but it's bad, bad. It's already bad for the Eagles, but it would have been real bad, real bad. Carl Abra, appreciate that, man. My son is both of them actually. So my sons, I'll talk about my sons for a second, man. Mari and Darius Jr. Right? These kids are they're very impressive to me. The reason he's saying congratulations, I was in Vegas last week. For those who don't know, with one of my oldest son, who they both practice jujitsu, but my oldest is like just like Daniel Cormier type. He's just a machine, right? Wrestling machine, jujitsu machine. But he won last week. He won silver last week in no gi and won bronze in gi in the I don't know, IJJB, whatever the hell those acronyms stand for. But we were in Vegas. We had a good time. And my 17-year-old Amari is so I took both my sons out of school because of Philadelphia's schools. The only thing they're gonna learn in Philadelphia at 16, 15 is how to catch a body, right? That's really what it is here. So took them out of the school system. And I said, listen, because I have older kids that I messed this up with because I didn't take them out. And they ended up getting into the wrong crowds. And then when they hit 18, you can't really tell them shit, right? So I took both of them out. I took the older one out. He's 21 now, but when he was 16, I tested him out of school. And he started what I call man school. So he had to learn how to shoot, how to hunt, how to fish, I had to take up a martial art. He had to hit the gym, and he had to go to college early, right? So they both started college at 16, 17. My 17-year-old starting his first year, his freshman year of school right now. And my oldest did the same. So that's what I did with them, right? So that I could get a bead on how they would be. But when you see congratulations or people talking about my sons, that's why. But I spent the time to say that because they deserve it. They good kids, or not even kids. They good young men, and I bangs with them. All right. Who else we got? Calvin Jefferson. What's up, man? Adam Goodry. I ain't seen you in a minute either, man. What's up with you? What's up with you, Brody? AJAR, he said, offensive staff called a great game. Run design brought tears to my eyes. Yo, it almost did the same for me. Wait till you see what we got in the lab. I think it's because we got so many fans. Yeah, the fans are annoying because we have so many. You got a point with that. Let me fix this real quick. You got a point with that, but I really am. I'm just tired of the bullshit, bro. I'm not even gonna hold you. I'm like, yo, I've never seen nothing like it. Like the fans, they talk so much shit. Is crazy. It's crazy. And Matt, on this one, I know I apologized to you when I first got in there. And I apologize because I didn't mean for them to go at you on Twitter. But you do talk a lot of shit, Matt, especially about Dak. And this is coming from a guy who made his name by talking shit about Dak. So trust me, how bad is the shit you have to talk for me to say something to you? Because I don't really care if people talk shit. People come here and talk shit to the people in my chat, and I say, leave them alone. Let them talk shit. You talk so much shit that I don't give a damn no more. I gotta let you get it. But no, so all jokes aside, leave Matt alone on Twitter. You know what I'm saying? Stop trolling him. Like it's a given that we gonna have some dumb motherfuckers. Yeah, I mean it's a given. True. It's too many. War of attrition is just the numbers inflate so crazy. It's gonna be that. Cowboy politics. He said, watching film now, bro. That's my therapy. Yeah, it's my therapy too. Trust me on that, because I'm in that type of headspace my damn self. So can't even lie to you. When I go through some shit, or I'm like, man, fuck this shit, I go watch film. When I'm happy, and I'm like, man, I love this shit, I go watch film. When I'm bored, I'm like, man, I go watch film. So I just watch film. That's what I like, man. So I get you on that. It's therapeutic for sure. I don't know why people giving up on Easy so already. Because they are soft as Q-tip cotton. Same reason they gave up on Mazi after no years. Mazi didn't do shit his first year because he wasn't himself. He did a lot of shit his second year because he was himself. And then we get a guy who comes in, which is shoddy. I think the Mazi situation, and let me start with that before I get into the film again. Everybody knows. Let me come back to the screen real quick so you guys can feel me. He said, "What's good, bruh? I'm loving this offense. Clayton Adam and Connor Riley are what we needed." I agree, but I'll say this, and I'm not trying to keep it going by saying it. I just speak facts. I don't know. So if people think I'm keeping it going, oh well. Okay. But there's been a very, very public back and forth between me and Attack on Cowboys channel, right? The young man or the old man, I don't know if he's younger than me or older than me, right? We were fine. We was cool. We had no issues outside of nothing. We didn't really have any issues. We were going to do a show together, and we decided not to based off of reasons I won't discuss, right? But everybody's telling me that, you owe him an apology because he was right about Mazi. Well, he was right about Mazi being in trouble. I will say that because, Mazi's obviously about to be traded or he was benched. So he's right about that. I tip my hat off to you for that. Wasn't right about what you said about his game. And honestly, the reason he's probably benched and the reason Mazi's probably in his head is because of the way the fan base is. And that's the reason I attack shit like that. It's the reason I exist. So for those who tell me that I shouldn't say what I say, you wouldn't be watching my channel if I wasn't the way I am. Because the reason I started speaking is because I was watching other content creators who I depended on for the facts talk about Dez the same way, right? When there was not much wrong with Dez until he tore his Achilles. So I don't let narratives fester because they create waves. Our voices matter, right? Ask Vach, who works with Broadus. Ask Broadus, who, we talk all the time, or not gonna say all the time like we buddies, but we DM each other and we talk, right? You know what I'm saying? Our voices definitely matter. Ask John Cena, who follows me now, right? Ask Dez, who follows me. Like, ask Dayton Jones, or several players who follow me, right? and several players' parents follow me. You know why? Because they like, hey, when Jalen Smith, all those guys, when somebody talking shit, or when the nation starts talking shit or talking crazy about a particular player, this guy might talk some shit too, right? If you put it on film. But we expect that because the coaches will talk shit to you if you put that on film, right? Bad film. So that's all I'm gonna give you shit on is bad film or bad attitude. I'm not gonna give you shit just because I don't like the way you put your jersey on, or I'm not going to add or conflate anything. When I see that, I attack it. I don't care who's saying it, right? And I don't mean attack it viciously, right? But I go at it. So those who think I was wrong because Mazi is benched, never said that Mazi was better than Kenny Clark. I know I didn't say that. I never said that. I said he's better than Jay Toye, and he still is. But Jay Toye is a 7th round pick. I don't want to even compare him to him because I actually like Jay Toye. I just don't think he's better than Mazi yet. He needs maybe a year or two before we can even ask that question. And Mazi needs time to be able to even show you what he can do in the first place, which he never got the chance to do because I think they want him healthy so that they can use him as trade bait possibly. Now, if he doesn't get traded, you'll see Mazi start to play after the trade deadline because his contract's guaranteed. That's just the business of it, right? So let's see what happens with that, right? The jury's still out for me. I think that his best option would be get the fuck out of Dallas, get away from these fans. I'm one of the best at what I do in the world. I know it. And the fans chew me the fuck up. So it don't matter, bro. You know what I'm saying? Dak gets chewed up. Everybody gets chewed up by these fans. So it don't matter. And if you somebody that's an easy target, they gonna get you. And then they'll ignore the ones that they like. Because I don't see anybody chewing CD up at all. But if CD played defensive tackle and he missed as many plays as he did as a defensive tackle and his name was Mazi, they would be trying to railroad him right now, especially if it was the reason we lost the game. I don't hear any of that. Why? Because he rapes and he saves, right? And that's a Dave Chappelle reference, meaning he makes plays, but he also misses a hell of a lot. Well, he missed a hell of a lot of them yesterday, if you see. So this fan base is just a strange cesspool of different opinions. But that's why we depend on film, because then you don't need your opinion. Every piece that you see, or most of the pieces you see on Twitter, I don't put my voice in them on purpose, because then you can't disagree with me, because it's just the film. And what you see on the film is what you get, right? So that's what I've always done. I've never done anything different. And that's why I might come off as arrogant or people think I'm cocky. It ain't that. It's just that I've probably watched this shit so many times. I'm bored and I know what's happening. I can tell you who did what they're about to do, what this play design did. And then I can remember like, oh, damn, I saw this before 10 years ago. And I'll go show you the game that I saw it in. The same formation or the same play or the same situation. I'll remember it. That's very, very strange. I don't know why it's like that, but I watch a lot of film. I designed my whole studio in my garage that was like a hole in the wall, gray. This was just a gray hole, right? I designed this shit, right? So I can do this for you guys. So again, I'm saying that to say there's a lot of people who think that I just come up here and say shit. I do not. I do not. Okay. All right. But without further ado, let's keep it going. Offensive line interior. That's what we were talking about when you said the interior line looks good. Well, the edges look good too. I think Steele is back. Steele made the block that sprung that 50-yard run. If you see it, Steele had to get from right tackle all the way across the field and match block or reach block, or what do you call it? He just blocked in space. I think it was Blankenship. He threw him too, but he had to get to he had to climb to the safety all the way across the field on the left side. So he went from the right to the left. I'm going to show you, but he went from the right to the left and made that block that sprung Sanders, I don't know what the hell he was doing last night. I think he threw the game. Both him and CD looked like they had money on this game. I swear. CD, I give an excuse because it was wet in the second half. And maybe you can give Miles Sanders that excuse too. They didn't plan for a wet game, and then it ended up being a wet game. So maybe they need to get with their equipment manager, but you're supposed to do that when you got the extended halftime anyway. Do that then, right? I don't know what the hell he was doing. King Reezy, what up, though? He said, "We finally here, y'all." Yeah, I feel like both sides of the ball in the trenches, especially Kenny Clark was the key addition, and I think honestly, if you let Mazi play behind Kenny Clark, we have a solid rotation at defensive tackle. I think Solomon Thomas played pretty good. He got pushed on that touchdown play. Him and Toye got pushed up out of there on that touchdown run. It was like an 8-yard run, 11-yard run, something like that. But other than that, they played pretty good. Toye gave up some yards, but I expected him to. But outside of that, they played the defensive line played very good versus the run. Let's see. Daryl Kane, he said, I appreciate that story. Appreciate you, bruh. Sadiqa Charles, she says, congratulations, Akoye. Best thing for them. These school systems are overrated, period. 100% they the smartest young men I know. For real. Like if they sat down and talked to you, you'd be like, oh, those definitely Akoye sons. That's them right there. So that's my oldest daughter. She's a firecracker. That's Samaya. That's Darius Jr., Amari, and my youngest, my 6-year-old Khaleesi. And I have a stepdaughter named Jada. And I have a brother-in-law that kind of raised named Demir. You know, I met him when he was 17. So, he's 27 now, though. But kind of, I guess you can call it raised. He lived with me, but I ain't raised him. And then I have a godson that I raised who's 22 with a baby on the way. He don't play, no, he don't pay attention. But either way, I've I've raised a lot of kids, man. A lot of other people kids too. Well, let's see. King Reeves, he said, Koye, that's what's up. I love hearing men raising men. That's funny that you say that. I got a nonprofit called Mom Makers of Men, and I actually was partnered with a guy named Chase. Chase, Chase, what the fuck is his name? Lamar Chase, Chase Lamar. Oh, my bad, Chase. He one of my, he one of my friends. I'm just having a brain freeze, man. But he has a organization called Men Raising Men that I partner with, man. It's MRM. That's how I met him. 13 and 41 didn't set the edge last night, and that is what cost us in the first half. They were getting held though, but you're right. They weren't strong. They weren't physical enough because they're kind of tweeners. They weren't physical enough to get off of those blocks. I'm just going down the list. Once I get down to the bottom of this chat list, that's when I'll get into the film. My bad, y'all. It's taking forever because it's 168 of y'all on here. Like I said, make sure y'all support the channel via Cash App. That's the Cash App right there. $4MLESS. Y'all can take the time out to do that now. But as I said, I don't remember what I was just now saying because I got to the mic. But we're gonna get to the film after they get to the bottom of this. Hold on. I was saying that they weren't physical enough to set the edge in the first half. They got better in the second half. He said, "What's good, Akoye? Was 7 good, or they didn't throw his way?" We about to find out because I didn't watch any of the DBs yet. They were good. The coverages were good, but I don't know individually what they were. A lot of those QB runs, and this is what people don't understand when you look at rushing yards. This is why stats. I'll stop and say this. I know I give a bunch of monologues, but stats, man, stats suck. PFF sucks. So let me explain something. And they may have changed it. So don't be one of those told you so motherfuckers that say, "Oh, Koye, you wrong." I might be. I'm cool with that. But PFF, the last I checked from people who work at PFF that I know, the way they rate a position is not by your impact on the game outside of stats. It's stats, and they'll watch the position only, right? So if you make tackles, sacks, tackles for loss, you get graded on those things, right? But let's say you record 0 stats, but you're wreaking havoc. Or let's say you get in the backfield, you're getting juked out your shoes, but you're creating chaos in the backfield. You missed the tackle, and someone else makes those tackles, but you did that 5 times. That's very disruptive if you did that 5 times. But PFF will give you a lower grade because you're technically not recording any stats. You know what I'm saying? They're not recording your impact on the game. This is why I watch the entire game and I watch the snaps of the player rather than the stats. Stats suck. You know what I mean? Because if you look at even, let me give you an example that makes sense for you. The QB runs on throwing plays, right? Just use common sense here. If Hurts, and I'm gonna pull this up so that you can see it while I'm talking. Let me see. Let me get in here. Let me see if I got some Hurts footage. If Hurts is in the game, and let me pull Hurts' footage up real quick. Uh, Eagles runs. There we go. Boom. So let me pull some Hurts footage up, put it down here, and drop it somewhere. I'm gonna drop it up here. All right, so let's just say we put Hurts up here real quick and bring this all the way over. All right, cool. Y'all can see that. Let me make sure y'all can see it before I start talking, because I'll go for an hour and then y'all ain't seen shit. And I'm right. Y'all ain't seen a damn thing. All right, here we go. Let me get back over there. This is an example for you before I go back down the list of shout outs to everybody, right? Check this out. If Hurts drops back, let me see if he drops back on this play. Oh, no, that's actually a run play, right? Actually a run play. Let's see. I said, this is a drop back, right? If Hurts drops back to throw, right? And right now he has nobody to throw to, or he has pressure in his face, and he runs for what was this? Maybe 12 yards. I don't know, right? Is that your rushing defense that got ran on, or your passing defense that got ran on? That's your passing defense that got ran on, right? Okay. If your passing defense gets run on, okay, did your pass defense do its job as far as pass defense is concerned, though? Like right here. Okay. If he could throw the ball, wouldn't he have done it? He can't, because the pass defense is doing its job. The pass defense is not run defense. So, yes, you have to stop scrambles. Yes, we hate this shit, right? Everybody does. And we have to be more patient. We should probably spy, right? But you've done the initial job, which is stop the pass. That's what my point is. And that's why those stats, when you see at the end of the season, we are the bottom of the league versus run. Well, I only count true runs, not the run stats. So let's say you gave up 2,500 yards versus a run. That's horrible. But let's say 700 of that is to a quarterback or to quarterbacks in 3 games. That's not so bad. Why? Because that means you did your job as far as your pass defense is concerned, like you see here. So whoever asks me about Trayvon's at the bottom of the screen, and he did a hell of a job because A.J. Brown didn't get a catch until late in the game. But here it's just Trayvon, and I believe that's Dono. Yeah. They're playing like a cover 2. They're playing cover 2. It don't even look like cover 2. I don't know what the fuck. This is like match man, maybe. It looks like match. Yeah. This is match, but it's match after at this point, I guess. Yeah, they playing like match man. So any man that comes in their area, it seems like they were, matching up with them. This serves as like a double team for Trayvon and Dono. So Trayvon is kind of like trying to bait him back here. He's playing flat right there. But anyway, by the time he gets to the bottom of his drop right here, where can Hurts go with this ball? He can't see Saquon behind him. So right now, where could he have gone with this ball? He can try to fit it in there to AJ in the middle of the field, like throw it to his inside shoulder, and he probably can catch this. But Trayvon is watching that. He'll be on it, and Dono is driving on it, so he'll get blown up at the best case scenario. He would get blown up here, right? So this is why I say stats are not what you watch. You got to watch the game because you got to see the impact. Okay, watch this. So they did their job as far as pass defense is concerned. This is not the run unit. So this means, and then the other reason stats don't make sense. Let me show you another reason, right? I'm gonna tell you. Somebody, I was listening to somebody. I think it was, I don't remember. Somebody, maybe I read it, but somebody quoted like, "Yo, Kenny Clark. They only gave up 2.8 yards when Kenny Clark was on the field, and 6.6 when he wasn't on the field." That is a bad fake stat. Because it's true that they gave up 6.6 yards on the ground when Kenny Clark wasn't on the field. 3 of those plays were against Jay Toye. Okay. But the rest of them, the reason that average was so high is because Kenny Clark ain't on the field when there's obvious pass or in certain pass situations. They have their NASCAR package out there, right? And Hurts would run, and he would get more than 6 yards a carry. That ain't saying that the person behind Kenny Clark is not stopping the run. It's saying that when the passing defense is on the field, they ain't stopping the run because they're not the fucking run defense. You get what I'm saying? You got to pay attention to little shit like that. And this is why I exist. You get what I'm saying, though? People still don't want to hear it. That shit annoys me, bro. I like to go watch film. They don't even try. Just want to hop on the Mazi sucks train. That sounds bad. Sound like he a bop. Mazi, you a bop. Mazi a bop now. That's crazy. That's good, Sadiqa. I'm just relaxing. I'm not reading y'all personal shit. My bad. Some players need time to develop. We do impatient now with players, or we're so impatient now with players. I think you mean. Remember when rookies wouldn't see the field at all until their second year at least? Yeah, I remember that. Remember Darren Woodson couldn't get on the field? He had to play nickel corner to get on the field. Mazi is being used as a scapegoat. Yeah, it ain't even nothing to escape from. And now everybody blaming him for the Micah trade. Like, yo, y'all wild, man. And I would want to leave because it's like if you got a weak mind, you a suicidal ass bull here in Dallas. Well, I ain't in Dallas. I'm in Philly. For those who don't know, but I'm a Dallas fan. But in this fan base, yeah, man. Question, Akoye, do you think Micah was playing? Mazi would have been playing in the game. If Micah was playing, Mazi would have been playing in the game. Yeah, he would have been playing in the game because who else would they have? Depth wise, it would be Jay Toya and Mazi. You know what I'm saying? They wouldn't have it. But Kenny Clark is an upgrade from Mazi, right? But he's also a guy that can help Mazi prepare and become a real pro because that's all he really needs. He has the tools. Everybody knows he's strong as shit and he's explosive. He just doesn't know when to turn shit on, when to turn it off. He doesn't know what's in front of him, how he's going to be blocked. You know what I mean? How it's going to. So those are the things he might struggle with. But think about who was in front of him when he got here. He had Hankins to deal with, but Hankins wasn't really an X's and O guy. Hankins is just a beast. You can't move him. You can't teach that. Mazi ain't 340 pounds naturally like Hankins. Hankins is just a big fucker, right? So someone needed to teach him how to be a consummate pro. Who's going to do it? Micah? D-Law? They weren't pro. Well, D-Law's a pro. Don't get me twisted. I'm sorry, D-Law. I keep putting you in with the Micah conversation. D-Law's issue was contained on pass plays, not true run. True run. D-Law is very good in the B gap and in the interior. He doesn't set the edges consistently because he's so good in the B gap and in the interior. He will peek in there, and that's one of his tendencies that you can skeek out on the edges with him on the field. But it's mainly QBs. Micah, however, you can run at, right? So and they're not as disciplined as you would like them to be on the edge. Okay. So who was he going to learn to be the consummate pro defensive lineman from? How is he going to learn it? Now you have a guy that can teach it. And if he doesn't learn it now, if he has Kenny Clark practicing in front of him and he doesn't get better, I would say get the fuck rid of him too. Get rid of him. But give him the chance to do that first, though, before you do. That's my problem. Okay. I agree. Mazi has done his job just fine for losing weight, going against heavier seasoned vets. This fan base doesn't know football, just loves to complain. Amen. It's whatever. If they refer to this channel like I suggest, they wouldn't need to because his breakdowns are made simply to understand. That's true, man. Philly, Mike OG was good. He said, it felt soft. You ain't never lied. How they gonna suspend Jalen Carter the remainder of the season? Damn, they did that to him. Now, let's get to this point. Ain't that ironic? That's a little crazy, right? And this is to you because I think that the Philly fans, they got me fucked up. And it's real. Y'all think that I made the Mazi footage and the Jalen Carter conversation after they got drafted by both teams. I did not. It was before either of them got drafted by anybody, right? I said that Mazi Smith is better overall as far as defensive tackle for the Cowboys. If he would have did what he did in college, he would have been, because we needed a guy like Kenny Clark, meaning that's what I wanted Mazi to be, a guy who can stop the run first and just give you some hustle plays for pass. If you get me 3 sacks in that and 10 tackles for losses, I'm counting all of your negative plays versus the offense. And then the added bonus of the fact that you're freeing up the rest of the players and making the team better. So I said Mazi was better because he makes the team better if he was playing the way he played in Michigan. Asterisk. At that time, what I put on film and what he put on film wasn't cherry picked. I just looked at an entire game versus Ohio State and his entire game, I think, his championship game. And same thing for Carter, light competition and the entire game. And what I saw in Carter was a guy who will get you 2 sacks. I said he's like Aaron Donald when it comes to pass rushing, but then he'll loaf and he'll chill. And then, I said you can coach him out of that though, right? But the problem I had with him was the talk that they had about him. They said, "Hey, Philly's the best place for him if he goes to Philly because he'll have people who can kind of monitor him." Like, why the fuck do we want another player that need to be monitored? We don't want no more of those. And then he had the tragic accident. Rest in peace to the young man who passed away. And then he got 2 more speeding tickets right after that. One before the draft. I said, "That's a person who doesn't learn his lesson." And this is coming from a person who had a fatal car accident at the same age. So I'm not judging the young man. You know what I'm saying? I've hurt people too. But I learned my fucking lesson. You understand? Because it's very serious. I haven't had another accident since I was 18 years old that I caused. I'll say. Put it that way. I've had accidents, but one that some people hit me. I'm talking about even they hit me. But I'm just saying that one was caused by me because I was still thinking I was in the wrong headspace as a youth. You know what I mean? Riding around no license, wow, right? So that's just the way we was in Philly, man. So anyway, um, I understand his position, but I also can judge it because I understand the pivot you're supposed to make off that. He hadn't done that. He was still talk, and then he was in the car with N'Kobe Dean and Nolan Smith, and they throwing up gang sign, riding around, doing the same shit, right? So I said, "Well, is this a person that makes the team better?" No, because the people that you send in to watch him, the other young men that's watching him, are partaking in the bullshit with him, right? Not judging them. They wasn't doing anything crazy, but it was just poor optics. You wouldn't see, Max Crosby doing dumb shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, yeah, or Khalil Mack or DeMarcus Ware or guys that are consummate pros. So I said, I don't want him, even though he is the next Aaron Donald. That's what I said about him. I didn't say he was trash. So people keep making it seem like I said the player is trash. He's not. But he just made me right as rain yesterday because that's what I didn't want on my team. A distraction, a hothead like David Irving or like Pac-Man at the time. And I give Pac-Man hell. Pac-Man played okay when he was with us. But Pac-Man was like that in the league anyway. You know what I'm saying? So why the fuck would I want that here? Rolando McClain, we had that. We had a bunch of players that were like patch pieces. They either was injured or they was poor character guys, or they poor character guys who got injured. Like Chris Canty. I like Chris Canty when he was here though. But he was blind from a bar fight. He had his knee fucked up before he got drafted. You know what I'm saying? So like you a fighting injured guy. You know what I'm saying? Crazy work. I didn't want no more of them for this reason. They trying to suspend your boy for the remainder of the season. That's why I ain't want him. He spit on a man. Listen, I ain't gonna show you because this is YouTube, but I am licensed down to the socks and everything. I swear to God, on my life, bro. If somebody spits on me, man, I'm gonna try my best to make sure you're not on this planet no more. I swear to God, because that's some nasty, disrespectful shit to do to a person. And then when you watch why he did it, you can even see Dak. Like Dak spit on the ground. You had to walk 10 yards or 5, 6, 7 yards maybe to ask the question of, did you spit at me? Even if you thought he did. Spit back on the ground, say, fuck you, right? I'm cool with that. Slap him. He at least got a chance to fight back. Now you can run with the offensive line. But to spit on the man and then retreat, you a weirdo. That's some weirdo shit. Where they do that at? To be shoplifting, I ain't gonna quote it. I heard they was shoplifting with his mama. And you rich, bitch. What you doing? What you doing? That was like when what's his name? Randall, the running back we had who was stealing draws and he rich. I'm like, yo, bro, why you stealing underwear? You rich. That's some of the dumbest shit I've ever seen. So yeah, I don't like the young boy. I really can't stand him now at all. Like, fuck his play. I don't like him. I don't care if I never see him play ever again. And it's not because he an Eagle. It's because he like Bill Romanowski to me. You just a fucking weird ass bull. You is for that. That was some weird shit to do. Yeah, and I would try to body him if he did that to me. For real. That is crazy. That's crazy. So I understand you done with the NFL, but you think they soft. But bro, where you from Philly? Can somebody do that to you? I doubt it. I doubt it. Especially these YNs running around. Hey, you can't spit on nobody, bro. That is wild. That's some wild shit to do. That's wild. Cherry on top, Lamb leading the league in drops since 2020 with 35. I mean, that's wild. Lamb I'm gonna get to that too. This has been a strong or slow lead up because I keep talking to y'all. I keep talking to you. CD cost the game on offense, but I expect him to be better against the G-men. Everybody gonna be better against the G-men. I don't give a damn if he is. They should get rid of his ass for the whole season, though. I don't like it. Yeah, they're like, that's not right. Well, how many games does spitting on people warrant? Or I think you should just let Dak whoop his ass. Like I would have took a helmet or something, and I would have waited for him in the tunnel, and I'd have bust him in his shit. I don't care if he beat my ass. I'm gonna bust you in your shit for that. Like I don't care what you do to me. You could kill me after that. But that is wild. That made me mad as shit, man. That made me mad. I swear it made me mad. He spit on one of the biggest NFL products. What y'all expect? That ain't why. Stay away from soda, bread, and junk food. You have discipline. Your eating habits. Yeah, you're right, Miss Sadika. Cool. He said, I had to eat some crow earlier watching Terrence Steele clips. He got it. Oh, yeah. Terrence Steele is back a little bit. He was rocking. He really suspended the whole season. Good. That's what he gets. I don't know. I got to check after this. I told people last year CD was making a scene, blah, blah, blah. Let me keep. It's so many of y'all in here. I can't go down this list. I can't because it's too many. I'm gonna start at the bottom and I'll come back at the end. Akoye, what do you believe is more pressing, trading for a running back or pass rushing edge? Neither, King Reezy. Why we need a pass rushing edge like that? Listen, y'all gotta relax because this is what I'm talking about when it comes to stats and when it comes to the eye test. I can go through the film last year of Micah Parsons versus the Eagles, and I can count the pressures for you, right? He got 1 sack, and they had I think 4 pressures the entire game and 1 sack. We had 6 pressures yesterday and 1 sack. We got more pressures without them than we had with them, in the same amount of sacks against the same team. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, better team because Hurts was actually playing this time. Second time we played them, he wasn't playing. You get what I'm saying? So what the fuck are we talking about? Did we look better versus run? Yep. So why are we talking about what Micah Parsons would have did here? Unless he was moving around the middle field. I'm not trying to hate on him. I'm just saying y'all making that up when you talk about pass rush because the pass rush was fine. We were playing a running quarterback, so they weren't trying to pass rush because every time they did, he escaped. The very first play, I'm gonna show you. Watch this. Share it again. Let me put that back on here. Very first play. Watch this again. Where am I? Oh, my bad. Let's go back to this. Very first passing play. Is this it? This one right here. Look at Kenny Clark. Boom. Got right there, right in the backfield. I count that as a pressure. And he took off. Like, is anybody else trying to get around that guy? Look at Dante Fowler. Does he look like he's pass rushing? Look at Slam Williams. Slam Williams is. I actually like this defense. He gets off the ball. Watch Slam. So let me show you what I would do here. Right, boom. Let me see if okay, I'm gonna ISO this one clip. Boom. I would do this here and this here. Let's watch Slam only, right? So we're gonna copy this, double it up, blow it up. And let's just focus on everybody. Right here, we're gonna focus on this area. So let's watch Slam on this play again. Is this the one? Yes, it is. Oh shit, hold on. Let me convert that one back and blow this one up. My bad. I don't want to blow up the whole video. I just want this segment to be blown up. Boom. So let's watch him first. Boom. Y'all can see that. All right, so watch. This is what Eberflus called. So Slam Williams gets off the ball. It looks like he's coming upfield, right? Wrong. He's gonna take the tight end and he's gonna use that 4.4 speed to ride his hip and cover the motherfucker. Right? So who is pass rushing? Only Kenny Clark. And he was just trying to gain edge so that he can contain. He wasn't trying to go after Hurts. He's trying to get did he do an inside move? No, because he doesn't want to break contain. He stayed outside here. He's trying to keep contained. So is Osa. So is Dante Fowler. Look at Fowler. Does it look like anybody's pass rushing? This happened a lot. And they ran on these plays. So you stop listening to Chris Collinsworth talk about they missed Micah out there. He couldn't pass rush. They're not trying to because they're trying to. This is why there was no spy. So they're like, we're first gonna try it without the spy, right? Just see if we could just contain the guy, and they couldn't. So then they started spying in the second half, right? Okay. So this is why I say stats. You can't look at stats. Pay attention to what actually is happening on the field. You understand? All right. Sorry to mansplain everything, but that's just craziness when people talk and they be just talking to me like they really making sense. I'm like, you're not making no sense when you say that we wasn't pass rushing very well when we weren't trying to. Thank you. The pass rush is fine. These motherfuckers on the edge refusing to maintain their edge lanes and dipped inside for no fucking reason. Well, we gonna find out why. I think they were getting held too sometimes, but yeah. Get the likes up, folks. Let's see what we got going on. Paul, stand for a minute. You at work, Paul? He said, not agreeing or disagreeing, spitting on another human is considered assault. It is you would get assaulted. I know that. Jalen Carter was racing a cheerleader after the NC. She wrecked and a player died. Yeah, craziness. I consider steroids a greater arrogance and entitlement. I don't know what you mean by that, but I don't want to know right now. Kenny Clark is better for a team than Carter. He is because he's going to be available and he's a pro. He's going to teach the young men how to be young men, even if he don't get the same stats. He's going to be better for your team. So I ain't wrong about that. You say 4 games should have been his max suspension. They're gonna appeal. He probably gonna get half a season. But it's funny that and it's ironic that we chopped Mazi up so bad. But this bull is they both not playing this year. It's kind of crazy. There's been no suspension announced, and they're saying that he may not even get suspended because there's no precedence on the specific matter. And if the league suspended, there is a precedence actually. Sean Taylor did it. Sean Taylor did that. Rest in peace, Sean Taylor. But Sean Taylor spit on a guy too. So I don't know what the suspension was for that, but it'll probably be the same. Sean Taylor definitely got suspended for that. So you're wrong about that, buddy. Even with Overshawn, I feel like we can make a move to have a stronger linebacker core, looking for better instincts and physicality. Linebackers played okay. They just was tripping coming out of the break sometimes, but they did well. I respect that. Hold on, before people say, and people saying that online too. How did the linebackers not play well? Right? Because people keep saying the linebackers ain't play well. Did we give up rushing yards? No. Were they giving up passing plays in front of them or underneath them? No. So where are the yards that that would equate to them not playing well? Did they force turnovers? No. Right. Were they impactful? Very impactful? No. But they were on a unit that held the Eagles to I think 150 passing yards and 120 yards on the ground, 100 some yards on the ground, but 60 from the quarterback, 60 from Saquon. Okay. They were part of a unit that held AJ and um, Smitty to a total of 22 yards combined. They were on the field. So you don't know what they were being asked to do, but I can guarantee you, Eberflus is not too displeased with the way the linebackers played. Now, is Demo better? Yeah. Is Demo and Marist better and have a better impact to your point, King Reezy? Hell yeah, of course. I saw a play on highlights or two having Micah coming in hot would have helped the middle game in the highlight bit. Having Slam Williams do the same would be just fine. You just gotta put him in there, let him do it. I'm also waiting for Ricky Revel to take away some receivers. Yeah, when he gets in there. All right, all right. Hold on. Boom, boom. Y'all really. I do appreciate y'all going ham in the chat, but I can't talk to y'all no more because it's too much. All right, too many of y'all. So I got to get back to the film because I'm gonna be on here for 5 hours if I keep talking to y'all. Hold on a second. All right, so let's get the Eagles footage out of here because that's not what we came here for. We're here for the Dallas footage right now. All right. Let's get to my man Clayton Adams. All right, for those who watch this on Twitter, you got to see it without the sound, but now you get me, right? So let's do it. Let me make sure y'all can see me before I start. And you can. All right, let's go. me see if y'all can see that though. Y'all can't. Damn, why the fuck y'all can't see that screen? All right, let me see. Present. Stop screen share. Hold on. Boom. Share screen. And window. Yeah, I can't share it that way. All right. All right, entire screen. Can't do it that way either. All right, my bad, y'all. I gotta do this a different way. I'm going back. All right, go back in. Share screen. Window. And it's not even open no more though. Window sharing coming up. All right, let me escape. Escape that. My bad, people. Technical difficulties for a second. All right. There we go. It's back. All right, here we go. All right, this is all y'all gonna see. It's not gonna be what you want it to be. I can't blow it up much bigger than this because then I lose this entire screen right here. So that's what we're gonna be on. Okay. So this first play, what I did was I blew up every angle of the run fit of the run scheme so that you can see what everybody's doing. Right. So on the first side, you see there's a combo block here between Steele and Booker. Right. So they took 97. He passed 97 to Booker. Booker turned them so that they have extra running lanes, right? So that cutback lane is there behind Booker just in case Williams needs to cut back, and still just has Bond occupied while Bond is trying to set the edge. And you can see that Nolan Smith got his legs cut out by Ferguson on the back end here. Ferguson trap blocked him. You can see him come across the the Eagles content is up here. Let me take that off here. My bad. It's back on here. Boom. All right. Here we go. Back to it. All right. You can see Ferg come across the line right here. Boom. And lay that block to the knee. Got to watch that. That could have been bad right there. And then there's another combo block between 73 and 56. So Smith and BB. Smith pushes Jordan Davis back to BB. He puts him on BB right now. And he's staring down Campbell. And he's going to reach block and seal Campbell right here. And this is what springs him. So in this one play, there's 3 lanes that Williams or any shifty back can run through. If you're a back with good vision, you have the front side, which is this side that you see. And then you have those 2 cutback lanes that we just showed, which are these right here. See? So when I blow this up, you'll see exactly what I mean. Or when I zoom out of it, right? Boom. Here it goes. So boom. There's a combo block there, and the trap block. See, and they seal. Here now, right there, if Pickens gets a better block on Cooper DeJean, who is behind Cooper DeJean to help out here? Who can do anything with that? Class? Nobody. Nobody can do shit. Boom. And if he breaks this tackle, it's a wrap. He's going to get at least 10, 15 yards on that play. The yo-yo motion set up the trap. So this is how they got the leverage. So all the offensive linemen here are blocking. So they got 5 on 5. So they're leaving Nolan Smith over there alone. They'll do this to Micah Parsons when we play him. We've seen teams do this to Micah Parsons in especially Green Bay. And we've seen Arizona do this to us when Clayton Adams was over there, right? So we've seen this before. But he uses the 5 linemen to block and get to the second and climb to the second level. The other 5 defensive defenders that are in the box, right? And then they'll leave the backside open for a trap block, right? And let's watch this on full speed. I think I left it in here for full speed. Let's see. Yep. Boom. Boop. So right there, and we saw this in our game. Right there, there's going to be cutbacks that once the Eagles start to overcommit. Like, so the first half, you set it up by staying true to the play, meaning run front side like you see Williams doing right now. Second half, though, if the Eagles adjust by overcommitting, then you got your cutback lane. And I'll show you, just for example, what I mean by that by showing you some of Clayton Adams' work. Let me show you that. Hold on. Show all videos. I remember that year when he played us, and that was Bad John, man. They tore our ass up. Paul. Bad John. Let me see. Here we go. I said this back in the day. I said, should we be concerned? Linebacker room was crazy. Hold on, let me go back over here to StreamYard and share this one real quick. Share another screen. Boom. Let me show you these runs.
As deep as he probably should, he doesn't do it.
And his issue
is on that. If he just gets
Here we go.
down and breaks, why are you even breaking down right there?
There's go your
Just run
is there, but
force the running back to make a decision. Even if you miss, it will stop his feet. You got to stop his feet. Then somebody else can help you out. Even if you miss on that, if he just gets a hand on him.
All right, here we go at the end of this.
Only reason that play wasn't a big play is because Curse
when you watch,
came
let me see if you
and
guys
just
see
played
this
hero
though.
ball and saved him. Curse saved him, but it was like how do you screw that up? That play, it was a couple plays where you knew they were keying the Mike. They were just saying like, we're gonna run front side, we're gonna counter Trey right at the Mike.
So once the team overcommitted, once we overcommitted, once you start overcommitting to his style in the beginning of the game, and then in the end of the game, you'll start seeing these long runs because they'll leave you naked on the backside.
Downhill football, and you want to get
like they do Fowler here.
Bell's okay. When he has a guy in front of him and Clark do this, and I think it's because either the coaching is bad or they're watching LVE.
I was just about to say, probably learning from LVE.
They're running two contact,
Sanders got that,
but not running through it. If you're going to run two contact, you got to chop his legs out, or you got to destroy that man. If you can't do that,
blow up the lane.
Yeah, you got to get there.
Cox, now we're using a safety.
Almost gets engaged by a blocker, gets off of that, and then still gets out leveraged. And the only reason that saved yourself, you get two. How do you get two hands? I'm just thinking like you're
cut off windows, but you can't. You knew it wasn't.
I said
that's like
you just come on, can't get right.
Coverage. I actually think that's
Harper on the field and let Harper learn. And I would get LV the hell out of here, man. I don't like LV.
I didn't want to bring him back.
I just don't know who that is, though.
I tried this year, but it's like he back to
right when he
back
got back
to reality.
Like, he back, but let's still get some backers. I was mocking backers in the second round.
I would take Harper.
I was
put Harper on the field and let Harper learn.
Rashad Evans. I was,
because
you
get a good look.
is, man,
watching this,
you're not really pushing him.
You watch how he,
and that's what I thought. Barr was going to be here for. That's what I thought. Going outside another guy, like
he organizes his offense.
We gotta stop this thing that LVE is not replaceable. I know he went out and all of a sudden it looked like, hey, things weren't great last year, but bro, Hankins went out. We didn't have a quarterback.
Well, get that. All that time I can find it, but I'm looking for the Arizona footage, and I'll do it. As a matter of fact, I'll do it here. Watch this. I can still find it. That was in 2023. All right. And I'll do who was on the team. Let's say Trayvon. That would pull up all the Dallas footage from the year versus run. No run stuff. You know what? All this season. Those. Arizona. I do James Conner. Hold on a second. I ain't my last one either. Here we go. We play Dallas and All right, now I'm gonna share that. Here we go. It's 227 of y'all on here. Make sure y'all support. Here we go. All right, let me see if y'all can see it. And can. All right, on the field. No stuff. Here we go. All right, let me see if we can find a counter. James Conner, right tackle. Why does it not work? I'm tired of this shit right here. We sent the page. The NFL app is not working right now. Here we go. Okay. Same concept here, right? I'm gonna show you when we get to this next screen. Let me make sure I can see again. Cool. Okay. All right. Now this time they stay true to the play in the beginning of the game, meaning their front side, right? Now you see the backside. He has it's just a gap run straight up. He can run off tackle. It just depends on how the Cowboys align and where they crash. Like did they stunt? Did they get caught in the stunt? Did they play straight up? It depends. He has to read that immediately. Connor does, and then decide to put his foot in the ground and decide which gap he's going in. But by the second half, all these front side runs became counters. He's gonna start countering, and maybe does it even earlier than that. We're gonna find out. But I know by the second half, you're gonna see a lot of counters, and our backside containment was trash. That looks familiar, don't it? It looked like the play I just showed you. Then it was this. Now watch these trap blocks and the things that Clayton Adams was doing during that time. He's doing it now, and this is what he's brought to us. Watch this. So you see, just straight. They're just straight up drop power. They're running power, but watch this. Let's see. They got a trap block coming across. Boom, catches that DB. And by the time you assess what's going on, if you're a linebacker or just a defender, you got those motions. You got a lot of different things going on. You got chaos everywhere, right? And by the time you assess what's going on, he's already, his lead blocker's already in your face, and he's already, 5 yards up the field. We saw that with Miles Sanders. Nobody touched him too. And you're gonna see that when I get back to the footage of that in a second. I just wanted to show a couple of these plays so you can see what I'm talking about. Another run. These runs were like gashing us because we just weren't ready. We weren't ready for this scheme at all. And Micah's on the field, and this time he's in the middle of the field where we want him at too. But look at these runs. That's the same play that got Jay. They love this play. This is the same play that Miles Sanders ran right here. Right here. I don't know if it was out of shotgun, but I can see when it was two pulling linemen. Same thing. Same style. I'll show you that in a second. But same style. Watch who's good. I think it's the center and the guard. Next time. Yeah, but still Micah just getting off him, and James Conner not a runner. This scheme revived extended James Conner's career because the way it's designed is, you got to be a running back, but we're going to put you in situations where it's just you versus a DB. We're not going to say you have to break, you know, defensive linemen or defensive tackles, you know what I mean, before you even get anywhere. That's the way we've been running the ball back in the day. Right now, they're gonna put you with a DB or put you with a safety, and you just gotta win your one-on-ones, and eventually you're not gonna win them every time, but eventually there's that cutback lane right there, you see that? Eventually you do, and when you do, you get plays like this. Look, look. So you see what they just did to set this up, and I'll show you again. Right. Counter, a 26-yard run. These are back-to-back plays. Watch the setup. Watch the setup. First, they give this look. And they pull. It's going to be out of a different formation, but the same blocking scheme. So, boom. They all pull, get out in front of them. Boom. They're going to show you this again. Now, the Cowboys are going to do what I said defense is going to do to us, which is the very next play, because they just got gashed for 26 yards, which makes sense. They're going to overcommit. Watch it. Now, when they see that same look, even though it's out of single back, it's the same style, right? They're running. They look like they're running front side. The Cowboys are overcommitted front side, and then they cut back. These are all going to be set up in our offense as well. Cutback lanes, and just we need a patient runner that finishes, and we have that in Williams. We have that in Mafia. I think we have that in Blue. I'm not going to give Sanders, the boot just yet, but Sanders, he got on my nerves the other day. We have guys that can be those one-cut style backs. This is what Adams brings. And I think that we're going to be happy mid-season. Just in full effect. Not in full effect yet, but we're going to be happy when we do. Let me see what other we got from the Cowboys. Too many. Those are pretty much big. Yep, we got those. All right, so I'm gonna stop sharing this. I'll get back to my lab. He said Wi-Fi is a little bit choppy. Probably because I got so much stuff going on, and I'm in my basement, so maybe I'm not getting my bad. If y'all can see me clear now, let me know. Put one in the chat before I move. He said, I'll talk to y'all while I wait for that. Give me some ones in the chat if I'm choppy or if I'm not choppy. I mean, good shit, Akoye. Wanted to hear your thoughts, and we are on the same page, brother. He said trade for Bryce Hall. I would, but I don't think we need a marquee running back. Listen, we trade for a number one running back, and I hate to do this to you, boss. Boss is my man, but it's true. If if we trade for a marquee running back, we're gonna be talking about paying them next. We don't need one. We need a marquee offensive line and running back can run behind this line. That's what I think anyway. I mean, that's how I think. I like Javonte Williams, and I like our running back by committee. If you want to say, hey, we probably could, let Mafia or Blue play, I would rather see them go and get a guy that's going to become a log jam in your room. I would. I would rather go get a guy that is like, I wouldn't go get anybody with that group. I like the group. They're all blue collar or long in the tooth backs. Sanders is kind of long in the tooth. Javonte is promising. I like him a lot. I liked him when he played us in Denver. It's funny that Jerry thinks the way I think, and so does Will McClay. Teams and coaches that whip our ass, we go try to get them. All right, let me keep sharing because I'm talking too much. All right, share. Back to it. Back to it. All right, so let's keep going. We see those concepts. So there'll be cutback opportunities later on. This is on a jet sweep. I'm just showing you Javonte Williams is the lead blocker on this one. So, but you see the physicality. Watch to your left. See that he's going to blow up. I think that's the Gene or Blanche. Him off the ball, and we're making those corners tackle. That sets you up for big passes later. Watch this. Organized chaos. So he has to get to the second level and just get in from Campbell. He's gonna miss Campbell completely, but doesn't matter. Booker still at the back end and gives that trap block on 97. I like these. I like what Miami was doing to us back 2 years ago. I like these types of plays. And if he breaks this one tackle, he only has one tackle to break because the play is designed perfect. This is how you know if your run scheme is working and if your running back isn't working. So he didn't break these tackles in this game, but eventually you want your running back to be able to make that first guy miss, right? Okay. There is no other guy. If the first guy misses, you're off to the races. So if you're a running back, if you want to be great in this league as a back, you got to make that first guy miss. And Clayton Adams sets you up where you have ample opportunity to do so. So no, he's not going to do that on every play, but when he does do it, you're going to notice. You know what I'm saying? You're going to really like what you see in Javonte Williams based off of what Adams is doing. So I'm going to keep freezing. This is not choppy. That's me pausing it just so you guys can see what's happening. So this is Booker in motion, pulling. Boom. He's aiming for 24. Still misses his assignment, but just that space that was created due to Tyler Smith being able to get movement on Jordan Davis. So Jordan's moved out of. Is Jordan trash? No, but anyway, it's him and Bond. It looks like, right? It's supposed to be, but watch what Guyton does. I really like Guyton in this game. Guyton didn't get enough credit. Guyton's gonna so him and Brett Spanford are going to double 96 to the right there. Boom. So now he's looking, and that's Guyton. Guyton's looking for Bond or anybody that's going to shade into his gap right there. He sees Bond, and you see he couldn't get Bond, right? He couldn't get him with his hands, but you know what he does? He hits him with his knee right here. Could have called tripping, but he need him. They went knee to knee, I think kind of by accident. He kind of whiffs on the block, but that gets just enough of Bond where it takes his legs out from under him. He doesn't have any leverage. And Booker gets just enough of 24, even though he misses too, so that, 24 doesn't have any leverage. And then they have nothing to stop this drive or stop him from driving. Good play. Good play design. Shoddy execution, but they did good enough. We scored, so cool. You're not going to be perfect in the beginning of the season without preseason on every play, but you see the idea and what they're trying to do. See what else we got in. All right, let's check this run out. And the rest of these that aren't edited, I haven't seen. So, you guys know that I'm really just watching this live. So I'm going to keep going back. And I'm going to show y'all what's going on. Boom. All right. All right, now let me show you guys what's going on the field. Up to this point. Here we go. Copy. Paste. First, we're going to blow this one up. From left to right, we're going to show you what's going on. So let's see. Here we go. Here we go. Let's see what they're doing. So this is Shoemaker and still doubling 97. He puts his foot in the ground. He anchors pretty good on that one, even though he hops, but he got pushed out of there. And then we got these dudes coming across the line. Who's this? This is Hunter Lipke and Tyler Smith. And then you have Booker and BB are down blocking. So these guys, so they're just pushing 94 and 96 further out to try to create some space on the front. I guess this will be the backside of the play. So this is either a gap run or a cutback. So he has an option to counter. And you see here, in that gap, because this block, the reason they 97 actually helped 30 on this play, because what was supposed to happen ideally is that 97 was supposed to get placed or pushed, right? So that Steele can peel off of that and get to 30. Steele is occupied. He can't get to 30 at all. So Williams sees that and says, okay, I got to abort mission. Got to cut this back. He's going to cut it back right behind Hunter Lipke. So let me show you what that looks like. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna show you what this looks like or how I do these things, right? Really showing you. Boom. Okay. And there's a trap block coming around for both Nolan. And that would be Hunter Lipke's coming for this is Booker's coming for Nolan. Oh no, Smith is coming for Nolan, I'm sorry. And Hunter Lipke is coming for Bone. Right here. They haven't gotten in the picture yet, but they on their way. So this is what happened at the start of the play. Boom. Then I'm gonna show you what's happening from the pull angle, which is here. Boom, boom. See that? And this ball is gonna cut right behind Hunter. So this is what I would be doing if I'm breaking it down for y'all. This is why it takes so damn long, and this is why y'all gotta pay the bull. This is why you gotta pay me, man. This is why I get paid the big bucks. Cause this is the gap. All right, so this is what's happening. Right off of Lipke. So I would do just like this, boom. So it'll show you, boom, the double, and show you both trap blocks. Right there, and you can see the lane, right? So that's from the left perspective. Let's look at it from the right perspective. They all just down blocked on their guys. As I told you, he put his foot in the ground. He saw that cut, boom, cut opportunity. You're gonna cut off of that. He's in that gap. See that? I'm gonna clean that up a bit, but I'm not gonna do it live. But just know that I will. Here we go. Let's do some more. Yeah, we're gonna look at. Y'all wanted to see CD Lamb too. I'm gonna show you CD Lamb later. So this is the same play that they ran that 50-yarder on. So Williams got an opportunity to do it here, except for they didn't pull with anybody. No, this is just an off tackle, really. But they didn't pull with anybody. So no, it's not the same play. But I'll show you that play too. The Miles Sanders long run, I think, is in here somewhere. Oh, I like this one. I don't even know what the fuck they just did. See what I'm saying? This is why I say I get excited when I watch an offensive coordinator where I have to rewind 4 or 5 times and blow it up to even know what happened, even on a simple run play like this. It's a simple play. Watch this. Let's watch what's happening. Boom. Okay. They left 58 free because they know they got Spanford and Lippy coming across the line to get those guys. 58 presses the gap. Spanford nails them. Lipke has nobody to block because of 58's gaining ground. Gaining ground. Lipke gets a piece of 30, just enough of them to stop them from. He still got 11 yards out of that because of that, though. That's a wild way to finish for Jay Williams. Look at this, boom! But look how he got the gap. So they pushed everybody out to their right, and then Guyton reaches Bond. Spanford traps 58. Hunter Lipke misses his assignment, but gets enough where they can't get a good solid tackle on Williams, and Williams just has Blankenship, and he took Blankenship for a ride right here. Boom. Beautiful run, good run design. That one's self-explanatory. I don't need to show you what happened on that. The guy ran straight. You already know. All right, let's see what's happening here. I think this is a toss. Is it? Or is this that touchdown? I'm pretty damn good. This is just Dak doing Dak things. This is crazy right here to me. I like that Dak was escaping yesterday. I was seeing him improvise a lot more. That was good to see again. Dak hasn't done things like that in years. All right, let's watch this. From Turpin, let's see what they're doing. Student body, right? So they have Guyton Penn. Guyton's pinning his guy right there. So is Booker. Booker and Guyton Penn. And 73, 56, and 70 pull. Look at Steele though. Steele is back. Look how Steele's doing this all day. For those who have been mad at Steele, like I have for the last 2 years, I ain't gonna say I was mad at him. I just knew he wasn't himself after the surgery. I want to show you something. Watch this. Let's look at Steele again. I'm gonna blow this up. Watch Steele. Watch 78, folks. Watch him. He got to get all the way across there and get to a safety and wreak havoc on him. You know what I'm saying? This is a tough assignment for a lineman, man. And he got wheels now. Like, Stills is moving again. And this is where he was good with Kellen. Like, when he was in Kellen Moore's scheme, Kellen Moore didn't try to have him play power because Still is not a power guy. Neither is Guyton. You don't have to have them play power. They gotta have to have enough power, but you use their length and their athleticism to aid you. Get them out in space and let them work. You know what I mean? Like, that's what you do. Like, you see Still back here. He's back here in space. You get him out in space. That's what he does. He covers ground. He can stay in front of you, and he's athletic. You know what I mean? He's not a powerhouse like Smith. He's not Smith. You can't ask him to be Smith. But I want to show you that touchdown run because I want to show you what it looked like. And boom. So remember those cutbacks I just was showing you? Don't that look familiar? Here we go. That yo-yo motion right there. So the first time we saw the yo-yo motion, which was the first play, right? He stayed front side with it, right? This time he's front side. He can still press that gap front side if he wants to, because he's pressing just to hold 24 front side, because 24 would accelerate if he accelerates, right? But he's pressing this gap. He's kind of patient right here, and he puts his foot in the ground. Once he puts his foot in the ground, it's because that trap block is successful and he has to go. But look at the lane that he has here. These are the runs that are designed for him. Now, is he a burner? No, but by the time someone touches him, he's 6 yards up the field. I mean, what more do you want? Look at this. Boom. Nobody gets a hand on him until right there. If you keep giving any running back those type of opportunities, you don't need a marquee running back. Now, if you get a marquee running back, though, like a Saquon takes that to the house. So you're right. If we had one of those, it would be kind of crazy. Now, watch this. This is backside too. See? Boom. But this time he stays front side with it because I guess he didn't like how Nolan looked. I don't know. Same concepts, though, from different formation. Lots of motions, lots of pin and pulls, things like that. These are the things that you see. And I even put runs in here like you see that didn't get anywhere because I just want you to get an understanding for what the design is, not always the success. Not always the success. Now, watch Steele on this play. I want you to watch Steele. The only reason this play worked is because of Steele. If Steele's not in this game, this play would go how it usually goes, which is when Arizona ran it, they got maybe 20 yards, right? Well, this is how you get 50. Okay, he presses the backside so he can't scream off the backside, right? So he presses, Nolan, boom. Just gets enough of him to slow him up. Boom, get a hand on him. Now he knows I got to get to that safety. Look at him. Look at Steele. Boom. That block right there. Let me show you again. Let's look at Steele. This block right here, brother. Boom. Let's watch Steele. Boop. That block right there sprung him. Boop. That sprung him right there. Now, what you can't do if you Sanders, though, I don't think he knew that a linebacker was behind. He probably found that you can't look back, man, but you damn sure can't get caught by a linebacker. But you know what I like? The other thing I like, other than what Steele just did, let's watch our young man 52. So this is how you watch film, and this is what you're supposed to do in the film room during the week. Give everybody their props. Watch this. Watch him burn. He ain't gotta do this shit. He did his job already. It ain't like he gonna block somebody. Watch this. Who's streaming up the field? And then what's his 40? He's just wasting energy. Look at that. Boom. Look at it. Look at 52. Look at 52. He out. He out. He was out. That's crazy. He ain't had to do that. Maybe a fumble. This is nut ass. And that's why I say you should go. Let me see if we got some pass plays in here. I'll let you look at those. Let's look at what CD was doing. I don't know if I put the pass plays in here. Let me see. Cowboys run. No, it's all run versus Eagles. Dak's. I'll break down Dak's play designs and the way they pass the ball in a minute, but it's not going to be today because I've been on here for an hour and a half and I haven't gotten through the runs yet. So I'll do Dak later, right? But you guys can see the concepts that Clayton is trying to design here and what he's going for. My throat dry, so that's why I keep hesitating on me. Drink some water. While I'm doing that, make sure y'all like, subscribe, share, sell drugs, something. I mean, I don't want to be a bad role model. Be the plug. Like, no, I'm only mess with y'all, man. Be good. I'm drinking water, not liquor. Okay. You said, do I think that Hunter Lipke is being utilized enough? Sure is. You're not going to come out with a fullback on every play, bro. I did see that. Yo, I seen that. I don't know what play it was, though, but he slapped the dog shit out of somebody. Tyler Smith. That was crazy. Yes. Matter of fact, I got to find that just because of the way he did it. I'm glad you asked that. Y'all want to see it? I know y'all do. It was Tyler Guyton. My bad, not Smith. Smacked the shit out of Buddy. Hold on. I'm going to share this with you in a second. I want to find this punch. I don't know how to find it, though. I know I just got to go through the whole game. So I'm going to go through 2025 week 1. It had to be a passing play because he's pass blocking. Remove sideline view. Anybody know what quarter it was? You tell me that'd be quick and easy. I know it had to be in the second half because the way the camera looking, I know the camera work was coming from behind him, so it had to be when they flipped the camera work in the second half. Let me see. Okay, yeah, this might be one of these. What I saw on his film though is he just playing violent, like the whole game. He's just violent, whole game, punching shit. I don't remember which play. I don't want to spend an hour trying to find it either, but damn, that technique is crazy. He's doing it multiple times, like putting his arm down, like he ready to punch you in your shit. All right, it's 15 short throws. I'm gonna look through these 15 short throws and see what happens with these. really want to see that play, man. He socked this shit. I don't think he knew what to do with himself when he got socked either. I don't think he knew what to do. He was like, did he just punch me in the mouth? Damn sure did. All right, that's it. I ain't got time to look for that. I'll look for it later, man. When I find it, I will show y'all though. But yeah, I did see it, to your point. He socked the shit out of Buddy. Yeah, he said it was facing the offense. I don't remember. He said it had to be the first quarter. Had to been first quarter with 3 minutes left. Oh, y'all got it. All right, cool. Thank you. Let's see. First quarter, 3 minutes. And it was a pass, right? All right, let's see if we got that. First quarter. Let me see what he's doing. Passing. Three minutes left. Oh, here we go. First quarter, 3 minutes left. But this is facing the offense. There it is. Found it. Y'all right as rain. You right as rain. How the hell y'all know that? And it was facing the offense. Y'all pretty damn good. See, this is why I love my chat. Y'all really is some helpful asses, man. Here we go. Let me share this. You share this screen. Film room. Bam. And blow this up. Yeah. Back over here. Make sure y'all can see. And let's move this shit out the way. Now let's watch Tyler Smith, man. This boy a psycho, man. Tyler Guyton. I keep calling him. So all these damn Tylers on the team. Watch Tyler Guyton. Watch this. Boom. So first off, his hands still was wrong with his hands, but he recovers pretty good. He let him get into his frame, which is not good, but he recovers. So that's a good recovery right there. And he reestablished himself, and he only has one hand on him because, I mean, that to me, that's educated because it leaves you room to counter. When you're pressing, like when I teach young kids to press, like when they're playing press man, I teach them the same thing. Don't press with both your hands. When you press, just jab them with your left hand or your right hand, depending on their release. Jab them in their hip, jab them in their waist, jab them in their chest, anywhere you can get your hands on them, and wait for the counter because they're going to swim or counter that as a receiver. And when they counter that, then you throw your cross or you throw your right hand, and now that's two steps that stops them in their tracks where they're trying to get a quick release. It slows up, especially taller guys. It slows them up because you get the leverage at their core or near their core. Like that's what I'm saying. You jam them in their chest or stomach, wherever you can. But anyway, that's what he's doing right now. He's just stiff arming. And he's holding one hand, right? Boom. And he just throws the slap right there, the slap of the century. Let's do it again. Boom. Do it again. I gotta see this again. Boom. Y'all let us play, man. Boom. Hold on, let me I gotta put that somewhere. I gotta get this recorded. Hold on a second. I'm gonna screen record this shit. Cause that's wild. Oh no, I can't do that because my camera's occupied. Yeah, if I do that, y'all gonna get cut off the stream. But damn, I'll do it when y'all get off here though. God damn. I love this play. Boom. I don't think you can do that though. Ain't that a legal hand to the face? I think there's a legal hand to the face. I didn't check my Cash App, Drummer. Let me see what you did. But thank you, brother Drummer. Y'all been showing some love, I guess. Let me see. Damn, y'all showing a lot of love. I had money in here already. Drummer sent me 20. Jonathan, he said, I appreciate the breakdowns. I appreciate that, Drummer. Jonathan, good joint. Thank you for that. And then Richard Coleman. Appreciate y'all, all three of you. Yep. That was beautiful though. But that's what we want to see. I don't even give a fuck if it was illegal hands to the face though. I like physicality. I want you to think. Next time you play this guy, I want you to remember him like this ain't just a regular football game. This boy gonna punch you in the balls. No, don't do that though, because then you become Jalen Carter. But you get my point. Let me stop sharing this real quick. They hit me in the shoulder. He said that seems to be his move. He does it a few times. Yeah, he does. I seen like so when he sets, he drops his arm. When he drops his arm, he looking to counter. But same thing you teach. You teach it in boxing. It's a jab, and then you setting up your right hand. So he just sets up a jab and the overhand right, and he was boxing, so I guess that helped him. He said, "You think Blue will be active next game?" No, I think they're gonna give Sanders a chance to redeem himself. Now, if he gives you one more faulty play, I mean, you lost the game on Sanders, but I think if you go hard on Sanders for that fumble, you got to go hard on CD for. I think he had like 4 or 5 drops, man. Got one in the first quarter, or first quarter, first half. That was on a slant. He just dropped it. Then he had one that hit him in his face. The ball popped up in the air. It could have been an interception. They would have said Dak throw picks. Yeah, one coming out of the break. He didn't drop anything. He just slips. And then it went into Quinyon Mitchell's hands, in and out. Then he had the deep one. Everybody was like, how y'all? You know what was crazy? And this is to Mazi and the Mazi and Tolbert conversation too. What was crazy is last night people were like, how y'all feeling about Tolbert right now? They was coming at Tolbert something crazy. I'm like, yo, y'all do see Tolbert doing all the dirty work. He's like the Julian Edelman of this offense. Meaning he's going to do the shit that you can't pay Pickens or CD to do, which is do the dirty work, block. I seen him put a guy onto his tight end, just chip him on one of his passing plays. Matter of fact, I'll show y'all that. But he chips and then, I ain't gonna show you that. But he chips the guy, goes out. He don't get no yards, but he does like physical dirty shit for this team. But he didn't do nothing wrong last game. Now, if you said that he didn't contribute because he didn't get stats, okay. But why y'all not mad at CD? And I'm not trying to get you to be mad at CD, but it's just like we pick and choose who we want to talk shit about. Because I damn sure did say Miles Sanders got to go after the fumble. But CD almost caused a couple interceptions, and he damn sure cost us the game. Ferguson could have caught a touchdown that would have gave us the game as well. So, this is football. Solomon Thomas and Toia got ran on one play, but it's football. Solomon Thomas also got us two tackles for loss. You know what I'm saying? So one or two, no gains. But you win some, you lose some. That's the way it goes in the NFL. They're gonna beat you sometimes. I mean, all right, let's see. What we talking? All right, I got probably like another 10 minutes on here, man. Y'all choose what we talking about. And y'all want to talk about Dak? You want to talk about whatever you want to talk about? We going for the end. You already know I came on here talking about Clayton Adams. I'm just showing y'all some behind the scenes, so don't get upset if this seems choppy. It will not be choppy. When I do the final breakdown, it'll be probably 10 minutes long, but you see what I'm working on. You seen what's in the lab room. And working on another piece, too, about Micah Parsons as well. I was going to rush to try to get it out before the start of the season, but I actually want to wait till after the Green Bay game so that I can complete my story, right? So I can see contextually. I might even wait till week 3, but because I think one game is not a good sample size for anybody. But I might wait till week 3 to see what happens. But contextually, I want it all to come together, and I got to wait for that. So you will see a Micah Parsons piece coming, and you will see also a piece on Clayton Adams that'll be done soon. You said my audio is choppy? Y'all can't hear me clear? It's wild. Testing. I don't think you're right, bro. You said audio is choppy. I got a crazy mic. Expensive John, and I can hear myself super duper clear. Let me see. Maybe I was chewing. I might have been chewing in your ear. I don't know, but audio seemed fine to me. He said, you want to talk about that possible Mazi trade? People hinting at it. Yeah, I think Mazi. So I won't say who told me this, but it's official though. What's going on? And I'm glad you asked this. So Mazi wants out, I believe, and rightfully so. I would want out if I wouldn't want to play here if I was him, because once you get in the Anthony Brown's category. The who else was in that category? Jalen Smith category. Once you get in that category where the fan base start to devour you or cannibalize you, you're not getting out of that. You got to get out of here because they'll destroy your career here and your confidence. And think about it. Like, think about if everything you did, somebody criticizing everything you do. And I don't mean criticizing it like you played well, you didn't play well, or we're going to watch the film and see what happened. But blaming you, scapegoating you for everything that's happening on the field because they don't understand what they're looking at. And then you're getting that every week, even when you play well, to the point where you played well down the stretch of last year if you're Mazi. And people forget all about it because they're looking at you like, yeah, it ain't nothing anyway. So he's being overlooked so crazy here. I think a fresh start might be what's best for him. And where I would go if I was Mazi, I would go play for the Chargers. I would go play for Harbaugh. And if you want me to give you my trade, I think is Khalil Mack still over there? Before I say that, because if he's a free agent, just go sign the motherfucker. But if Khalil Mack's over there, trade Mazi and for a Khalil Mack or something like that. I'll be cool with that. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I think that's where he belongs because he needs to be with a coach that knows who he is and knows what he can do. You know what I mean? Mazi is not a guy to me that I think is washed. I don't think he's a bust or any of that. I think he just hasn't been used properly long enough and hasn't been given long enough of an opportunity to be himself. He keeps being asked to be something that he's not and then being criticized because he's not that. That's like saying, I'm not a good woman. I'm not a woman. But you ask me to be a woman and I suck at it. And then you criticize me for sucking at being something that I'm not. And I'm not coming at anybody or starting a political conversation. I'm just using that as a very easy example. You know what I'm saying? But he said Mac's still there. Yeah, I would trade I would try to get Mac and give Mazi to Harbaugh, to his old coach, and give me Mac and throw a pick in there. Give him like a third round and Mazi for Mac. I'll take that. You know what I'm saying? I would. On this team, because you give us a Khalil Mack, that will make that defensive end room crazy. But honestly, think CD trusts his hands as he should, but CD wants to turn his head before he catches the ball and secures it. Yep. They always say look the ball in back in the day, man. You right. He said, Akoye, this is a good question. I like your questions, Los Altos. He said, Akoye, what 2 areas of improvement you want to see the most before Green Bay? It depends on who you're playing. I would say if you're playing a team with a running quarterback, I want to see them spying more earlier. They need to improve there. Obviously, I need to see them executing better when it comes to the catching. And they're not catching the ball great. And I expected that because none of them played in preseason. So they got to get the cobwebs out. But CD and Ferg, there were a lot of drops, a lot of missed opportunities. The only person who didn't really miss anything was Pickens, but he didn't get enough opportunity. But yeah, I saw a lot that I didn't really like when it came to the drops. So they would be on the jugs machine so much so that they catching shit without even looking reflex wise. And definitely want to see them spy more if they're playing a running quarterback. Like when we play Love, you still want to spy him. I wouldn't give him opportunities to run because when you give opportunities to run to quarterbacks that are one read quarterbacks, now I'm talking about Love. I'm talking about any quarterback. I'm not even going to talk about Hurts because I think Hurts has improved. I actually like the fact that Hurts has tried to improve his game. Okay. So when you look at that and you say, a quarterback that can run is gashing you. If you keep him in the pocket, you force him to throw the ball or throw the ball away or, get sacked, whatever. We got to contain better and we need to spy better. The run defense was solid. I liked it. Linebackers, I think, played well, but obviously they could be better, but they played well. I like what they did. I think more so yesterday was about coverage because that's where it shined. They shined in space. Everybody did because the front line was able to do what it did so well. The front four did so well that those linebackers can be a little more patient back there and not, fly downhill on every play or overcommit to everything. So I don't really have many improvements outside of that. If you're talking about schematically, what coaches could have done or what they can do to change it. I think Eberflus probably wants to blitz a little bit more because he started getting home with those blitzes in the second half. I think Bland had one. He got in there. He forced Hurts out of the pocket. And then you saw Diggs. Diggs act like he ain't want to hit his mans and said, "What you doing, bro?" Like that was Diggs be tripping, man. Like, come on, bro. You know what I mean? He tripping. He be tripping. I don't think we could get any compensation for Miles. We probably have to cut him. If you cut him, you cutting guaranteed money. If you're going to cut Mazi Smith, you may as well just let him play. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, like, Mazi Smith is going to give you solid reps, especially behind Kenny Clark. Mazi Smith starting as your number one DT, I understand the argument there. But also remember, I have guys that I train too. I'm a coach too. And I understand there are different types of people. Like me, for instance, right? If we're practicing, I ain't really the greatest practicer. You know what I'm saying? Meaning, if I'm sparring, you might get off on me. Maybe a little bit. We working a drill, something might happen. But if it's go time, I'm a different person. And I think Mozzie's one of those too. Like when he in a game, last season anyway, he played better when he played in games. I don't know what he was practicing like in years prior. I think Shotty does, but they want consistency out of him. And it's either going to work one of two ways. Either he's getting traded or him being benched is a wake-up sign that just pisses him off because Shotty brought it up again, right? And I think that's what it is. But the media is taking this Mazi situation and making it crazy on him, right? So that he can't focus. So I still think he should try to get up out of here. I think he requested a trade because he feels like he can't get up here because of the way the media and the fans are towards him. Not the coaching staff, not the organization. And this is what I've heard from people close to that locker room, very close to the locker room, that he wants out because he can't stand the media and he don't like the fan base. And I don't mean like him like, fuck y'all. I mean this the way they come after him. You know what I'm saying? Say, yo, Akoye, did you say Parsons is better than Lawrence Taylor? Yes, I did say that. Let me explain. See, context matters, bro. Let me tell you why I say this. Because I know y'all want to slap me for saying it, right? I want to slap myself sometimes for saying that. But let me tell you what I mean in context. And then you'll understand. Lawrence Taylor is the best, one of the best football players ever suit up, and the best outside linebacker / defensive end I've seen, right? Lawrence Taylor's pass rush capabilities and run stopping from the edge far superior to most defensive ends, outside linebackers. I would say the closest thing we had to that is DeMarcus Ware. DeMarcus Ware is better as an outside linebacker and defensive end than Micah Parsons. So how can Micah Parsons be better than Lawrence Taylor and DeMarcus Ware? Why would I say that? Why would I say he's better than Fred Warner if he's not as good as a linebacker as Fred Warner? Why do I say that? Because it's called synergy. Fred Warner is a better linebacker than Micah Parsons at middle linebacker, right? But he can't get you 10 plus sacks at all. He's not going to get you 10 sacks. But Micah Parsons can give you some of what Fred Warner's going to give you, but he can give you 10, 15 sacks too, right? If he can get you in third and long. Lawrence Taylor is a better defensive end outside linebacker than Micah Parsons, 100%. So is Reggie White. So is Ware. So is Garrett. So is TJ Watt. I think that today because they can stop the run and they pass rush. But they can't play middle linebacker like Fred Warner. You know what I'm saying? So his versatility is what I meant when I said he's better than Lawrence Taylor, meaning Lawrence Taylor can't play safety if he wanted to. Micah Parsons can play strong safety if he wants to. You know what I'm saying? He could play nickel. You can run a defense through Micah Parsons. And when I say through him, I mean you can take 3 down linemen, right? And kind of do what we did in the second half with Slam Williams. Second half with Slam Williams, he was the spot, but he was still 1 of 4. So I mean, they had 3 down linemen that were doing most of the pass rushing, and Sam Williams would be kind of just coasting over there. Micah Parsons, you can take 3 linemen and play defense with like it's 3-4. You can play 3-3. You know what I'm saying? It's really 3-4, but it's 3-3 option or 3-3X. Meaning 3 down linemen, 3 linebackers in your base. 3 down linemen, 2 linebackers, and a nickel in your nickel, right? But then there's Parsons. He's either on the line, he's just standing up on the line. He can blitz, he can cover, he can do what you saw Sam Williams do, which is just turn around, cover the tight end off the line of scrimmage. He can do what he wants. Get what I'm saying? But we'll have a package for him where the entire defense is predicated to him having options in there, or we're calling certain things that would distract a offensive coordinator from actually understanding what he's doing. You can do that with him. Can't do that with everybody. I can't do that with Myles Garrett, even though Myles Garrett's a better defensive end. He can't do that. Lawrence Taylor is a better defensive end outside linebacker, but he cannot do that. I've never seen Lawrence Taylor chase a wide receiver up the field, break up a pass like he did against Galladay. He broke up a pass like he was a corner. He played that better than Anthony Brown was playing at the time. I saw him run up the field against another guy in the Saints game, pop the ball up in the air, and Jaron Kearse gets an interception off of it. I've never seen no defensive end do that. I've never seen linebackers even do that. So that's what my argument is, not he's going to line up an outside linebacker. And I think that's the cap that he gives himself, because they talk about him and Reggie White. They talk about him and Lawrence Taylor so much that he puts himself in that category without understanding, like, you need to be more like Ray Lewis, bro. Meaning a guy that would do anything for the team. You know what I mean? Meaning if you don't have linebackers on your team, you're going to play middle linebacker because that's what you need to do. Not say, I need to maintain these 12 sacks a season. If I play middle linebacker, I ain't going to get my money. That's what you're thinking about. You know what I'm saying? And I think that was you know, what I think the problem was that year. He said, I was tripping on that. He said, I was tripping on that, homie. Yeah, you was. Like, I everybody thinks that I meant it like straight up. He's better than Lawrence. Hell no. I'm talking about more versatile. Like, he can do more things on the field than any football player I've ever seen. I've never seen a football player that can do that. And if he was dedicated to being great, like Ed Reed great, Palomalu great, Ray Lewis great, you know what I'm saying? If he was that type of guy that wanted greatness and was dedicated to it, and maybe he is, maybe he'll do it somewhere else. Man, there would be no fucking with Micah Parsons if he wanted to be that guy. You're on an island with Parsons in the same league as LT. I know, I'm on an island by myself with that one. My only argument to Parsons versus Taylor is y'all ain't seen Parsons play with Candy. I don't know what's Candy. What are you talking about? Is that a guy's name from the team? I love passing offense built around Dak. Mazi is a bust. It's okay. Run game and defense is better and seems more built around Dak's strengths. Yeah, if he's a bust, let him prove it on the field. Let him be a bust. Let him taco Charlton his way out of here. Don't sit him on the bench. Let him play and let's see what he can do. Then I'll say it. Let's keep going. As a guy who watches Michigan, Mazi was a better player with Mason Graham. Maybe send him to Cleveland. Yeah, maybe. Send him somewhere. Oh, nose candy. He said, you got any? He said, Bruce, you got it. I thought he said, you got any. I was about to say, y'all crazy. That's funny as shit. All right, let me go back up and say what's up to some people. See what's up. Y'all ain't talking no more topics, though. Give me some more topics, and I'll sit on here because I ain't doing shit but going to bed after this. I agree. Protecting the blow-up hit, you can see him taking his eyes off the ball through the catch. He looked right to the hit. Yep, they all did that. So did Ferguson. Ferg would have had the touchdown. He dropped that ball out. Oh, shit. I'm scared. Sadiqa said, I'm going to talk to my pillow. I see you. See you, Miss Sadiqa. He said, that girl. I know what you're talking about. Yo, Akoye, do you think Ferg is actually better than Schultz? I do. I think Schultz has reached his ceiling, right? Ferg has not. So right now, when Schultz left here, was today's Ferguson better than Schultz was then? He has to prove that this year. But I think he's only getting better, especially with George Pickens here. He's going to be even better than that. Ferg is definitely more physical. He has a different mentality. He's evil. He plays angry. Schultz was just a good blue-collar guy. And I think that Schultz's ceiling is like a C plus B minus type of tight end. He's pretty good, pretty good. He can beat your average He can play ball if you target him. He good, right? I think Ferguson can be a marquee tight end in this league if used properly and if he develops. So it's a yes and no answer. Currently, with him being at his ceiling, I think Schultz, or not currently, but the year he left. I haven't been keeping up with Schultz to know what he's doing now. But when he left here, yeah, he was better than Ferg is today, right? But Ferg has the potential to overall be better. Give you an example. Martellus Bennett wasn't better than Jason Witten while here because he didn't get enough opportunity to be, right? Once he left, though, I think Martellus Bennett may have been better, the better player. Did he get an opportunity? Did he show it on the field? He showed it in plays that he made. Yeah, he showed it in New England. I think he did. Did he ever dominate? No. But I think he got to a point where he was better than the version of Jason Witten who was keeping him on the bench, though. You know what I'm saying? Can or have we talked about safety? Man, I want to see Wanye on the field. We haven't talked much about safety. Donald Wilson's a captain, so that pretty much means he's going to be starting no matter what. And I think that's the argument that the fans miss. They be wanting Donald Wilson on the field more than they want Wanye Thomas on the field. They'll want Donald Wilson on the field. They'll be like, let's get rid of Mazi or let's trade Mazi. But nobody talks about Donald Wilson. Donald Wilson's coverage last year sucked. I hope he improves it this year because I do like Donald, but he was a liability in Zimmer's scheme. So I don't know, maybe him being back in a zone-heavy cover 3, cover 1 type of scheme, maybe he reverts back to the Donald we know. But he didn't look right last year at all. What are your thoughts on the New York Giants defensive line? They're amazing. That's my thoughts. It's a lot of them over there. Chauncey over there too. Y'all talked about having another roundtable. Not yet. Everybody's super busy. I feel that and hope so. He hasn't come through when we needed him. All right. I think you're talking about CD. Why do you think they keep sending out Wilson and Hooker over Bell and Thomas? Practice and money. But Jerry said, if you get paid, you play. Because I'm not paying you to ride no bench. He's not about to pay nobody $10 million that's on the bench. So if you want to stay on this team and you paid, you better be playing and you better be a leader. Otherwise, I'm gonna get you out of here. And I understand that because if I'm paying you something, you're gonna perform to a certain level. So I think that's why. Or you gonna go, and then I'll save me some money. Does a healthy Overshine get us a dub last night? Yep. Because he would have been spying the hell out of Hurts, I think. Deuce or Sanders after that fumble? I like Deuce before the fumble over Sanders, but Sanders had the name and the experience. He was going to get there. He was going to stay. Akoye, do you agree with Brian's offensive scheme? Are you okay with our pass run ratio? If this is our team going forward, can we dominate the NFC East? Well, you answered your question last night. If the Eagles have been dominating the NFC East and we dominated them statistically, we just didn't finish in their house, then yeah, we can dominate the NFC East. If you look at the NFC totally, right, NFC South is weak. Saints ain't great. Maybe it can be, but you don't know who's going to have 12 wins a season out of any of these teams other than you could say the Eagles going to get there. You could say Green Bay is going to be good. You don't know what San Fran is right now, but San Fran's good, well coached, so they have a shot. Seattle, who knows? You know what I'm saying? The Rams are probably top 3 in the NFC. And who else you have over there? You got the AFC West, that is. The Cardinals, no. The North, right? So you got the Vikings. I don't know what they're going to look like. You got Chicago, no. Green Bay, solid. And then you got the Lions, I'd say top 5. So the Cowboys are in the mix. I can't put them above the Lions because I got to see us play them. I can't put us above Green Bay. I can't put us above Philly. They just beat us. But I have seen us. We can compete with anybody, but we have to win those games. W's still count. So those are 3 teams that I will put ahead of them. San Fran always beats us, so I would say, but San Fran always barely beats us. I don't think San Fran is the same. Now, maybe they just went through like just a little rough patch last year, but I'm still gonna put San Fran up there as one of the top 5 teams in the NFC. So I say the Cowboys maybe 5th, 6th, 7th, somewhere in there. But can they dominate? They have to go out there and prove that this year on their own. I can't say that they're going to dominate teams that have been dominating us. I'm just being honest. You got to go out there and prove that you can get over the hump and beat those teams that have been kicking our ass. But I can say that we are the best prepared in game 1 anyway team that I've seen in some recent years, meaning both sides of the ball is balanced. We seem to have a team first approach, and everybody was playing physical yesterday. So the chips are falling in our favor. And I'm just saying, if we're in the mix in the playoffs, we have a coach that understands we need to run. What he did do, that he kept his word because he married pass and run. So a lot of the running plays looked exactly like the pass plays. A lot of the running plays look just like another running play. You have one running play that looks like it's a sweep and it's a counter. It's crazy. So I like the fact that he mixed all those in. We have a good culture here now too. Think about the cultural change when you do have to argue about Parsons leaving or Mazi Smith, a first-round pick, not even starting, not even suiting up, not even active. That lets you know there's a huge cultural shift. That's some shit that Parcells would do. Some shit that you'd be like, don't do that. Don't do this, Parcells. He'd do it anyway. And then you'd be like, it's like, no, yes. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't want them to do it, but then they do it and you're like, Kenny Clark? All right, I can kind of live with that. You know what I'm saying? So making those types of moves is impactful because it puts everybody else on notice, right? I remember Parcells cut Anthony Ross, that Ohio State product, I think he was, from Ohio State or Virginia Tech, one of them. But Anthony Ross was a corner. We had 5, and you look him up. He had 5 interceptions his rookie season, right? Played very well. We lost, I think, to Atlanta. We lost to somebody. And I think he threw a towel, like a sweat towel at Parcells or something in practice. Gone. Cut his ass. I'm like, damn. So having it where you take a guy like Mazi and say inactive. Well, who the hell else can't be inactive then? Everybody can be. So you better ball till you fall. I like that. Hold on. Akoye, what do you think about the race issue people are saying about Jerry Jones and re-signing black players? Good question. So it's not black players that's the problem. It's prima donnas that he doesn't like to re-sign. And for good reason. He didn't want to re-sign Dez, but I like Dez a lot. But when you watch all the things that was going on off field and, you know, the way he moves even on the field, right? It's not the most secure investment to give him. It's one thing to give a guy $5 million and it's not really killing your cap. It's another thing to tie up cap space in a guy that's a character issue for any reason. That's any business. That's not black or white. That's just business. I wouldn't be hyped to give somebody money or all my money, you know what I mean? Or tie up a third of my money or a fourth of my money. If you're not that guy when it comes to everything, the intangibles, you're a leader, you know what I'm saying? You are making everyone else better. You know what I'm saying? And you understand how to conduct yourself. Like I was for paying Dak. I was for paying all of them. Get your money if you can get it. But I don't get into the racist thing when they start talking about that. Because he loved Irvin to death. He re-signed all those guys. I think it's when you're trying to get a blockbuster deal out of Jerry. Jerry really is frugal with the money. He like, look, man, like, do I want to pay Parsons $47 million or $41 million or $34 million last year? Do I want to pay him quarterback money? No. I don't think he did want to pay him that because he would have paid it. You know what I'm saying? Or do I want to go get 3 Pro Bowlers for that? Well, he got 2 already. Clark and Bland. He only need 1 more, and he kept his promise. You know what I'm saying? He re-signed Bland. He re-signed Hunter Lipke, and he grabbed Clark, and he got you 2 first-round draft picks. We got 4 first-round draft picks in the next 2 years. A team that drafts all pros. Zach Martin, going to be a Hall of Famer. All pro. We drafted him. The whole Great Wall, Tyron Smith, drafted him. You know what I'm saying? We draft all pros and develop them. Over the years, we've done this. Micah Parsons, been in the league 4 years, a 3-time all pro. We drafted him high. You know what I'm saying? And discovered the fact that he could pass rush because he ain't get drafted as a pass rusher. So if you give that type of team, because everybody go to, we had Mazi, we did draft Taco, we drafted Morris Claiborne. Y'all got to go to those to say that we don't draft well? You crazy. We also drafted Dayron Bland in the 5th round. We also drafted Donald Wilson in the 6th or 5th round. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we did do that. You know what I mean? We drafted Dak in the 4th round. So stop the first round bust bullshit because we don't even need first round draft picks. But if you give this team first dibs 4 times in 2 years, and we're not counting the second round draft picks or potential trades, because yes, you can just remain, you can stay where you are. Green Bay could suck this year or next, and maybe we get a high draft pick, or you could trade both your draft picks to get a higher draft pick. You know what I'm saying? So you can get a top 10, top 15 draft pick for a team that's looking to get out of the top 10. They don't really need a guy that high, and you want them. You want one of those guys that's in the top 10. You can trade. You could trade both those picks for that. You could trade for all 4 of those picks for some shit. Don't matter what you're doing, but you got options now. If you're Jerry, that versus what we had with no option with Micah Parsons. The problem I have with the Micah Parsons conversation, and it's not a race thing, is this. I don't really speak against people money, but I will say, and I met Micah Parsons, and I will say, and I like his brother. I talk to his brother. I used to talk to his brother a lot. So this ain't personal. The issue I have with him, though, is this. We did get kicked out the playoffs with him on the field 3 times. He does not perform or has not performed in the playoffs. And this is what the entire fan base is complaining about. The playoffs. Well, wasn't he on those losing playoff teams? Yeah. Is he making players around him better? You could say yeah. You could say yes physically, because if he's pass rushing, he's going to chase people into other sacks so other people can get sacks because he's on the field. True. He's making those guys better with that. But is he making them better mentally or showing young guys how to prepare? I don't think so. He's a smart guy himself, but I don't think he's preparing the young guys behind him. And the reason I say that is because the older players, the veterans, are calling him out on shit. If you got Malik Hooker saying, I remember Quinn said Malik Hooker don't even talk. He had trouble communicating with him because he don't talk enough. So the first thing I ever heard him say in any interview was that, hey, yo, listen, I ain't got no problem with the podcast, but make sure our run defense is good first. People say, oh, that's taking a shot at Micah. But why would somebody on your team come out and do that? It's not because they just hating on the fact that you're a great player. It's like, look, bro, for real, focus on, what matters. You know what I'm saying? Control the controllables. That's what you should be doing. And he's shown that he wasn't mature enough to do that. Certain times on the sideline, he would be doing certain things on the sideline where he's looking up at the camera before he says certain things because he's trying to, I guess, posture or show certain shit. Didn't like that. Didn't like what he did in preseason on the sideline. You're basically creating a culture of lackadaisicalness or prima donna entitlement. You know what I mean? I don't like that shit. I don't care who you are. I got people that live in my houses, right? One of them came in today. He just moved in. And I can hear him talk to my wife in the kitchen. I'm just listening. And he like, yeah, I don't like this. And I don't like that. I don't want to. And I had to tell him, man, I'm not being rude when I say this, but you just came from a shelter, bro, right? Right. Did they let you do what you wanted to do in there? No. So why the hell you coming here trying to do what the hell you want to do with that prima donna shit? Be grateful because you ain't entitled to shit. Nothing's promised to you. And I had to tell him that, but I told him face to face. I told him straight up, but yo, bro, don't come in here with that shit. I don't like that from anybody. And I didn't like that from Micah Parsons. So I will say that straight up. I didn't like that. The way his culture was in regards to attitude. Do you pay a guy that the team is saying other people on the team is clearly saying, hey, yo, we need to do better versus the run, and we need your help. Him and DeMarcus Lawrence had 2 years worth of verbal sparring matches. 2 years. After the Green Bay game, he said, DeMarcus Lawrence said he was tired. Micah Parsons kind of came at him for that, right? But when you watch the Green Bay game, D-Law actually did some shit in that game. I think he made like 3 tackles for loss. He did something. You know what I'm saying? He did something. Micah, you did nothing. Why are you talking about other people? Why are you talking about team shit when you don't do shit? When we lost to Baltimore, he said, we got guys playing hero ball. It is you. You were playing hero ball. Why are you not? Now, D-Law did too. But why you not talking about yourself? Where's the accountability when it come to that? I ain't seen none of that. So that is a problem. And then when he does something that he's accountable, it's like kind of like showy, as if he's acting. So I'm not talking about Micah Parsons, the player. I'm talking about the character of Micah Parsons. And I don't mean like he's an evil person or he's getting arrested. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about his effect on the men around him. Do they want to run through a wall for him like they did Ray Lewis? I don't think they do. They telling you they don't. D-Law left here and said, I would have stayed a Cowboy. I don't think I can win there. Who you think you're talking about? The person who responded with, that's some clown ass shit. Why you think that is, bruh? Okay. So when you got players who only played here, who will willingly get the fuck up out of here just because you're present, that tells you he's a polarizing figure. And you either hate him or you love him. So you either Trayvon Diggs and you love him, or you're D-Law and you probably don't like him very much. And what D-Law said on the pivot was, I ain't got a problem with Jerry. Jerry paid me. So that tells you that when he said he couldn't win here, he wasn't talking about the organization, because he said, I ain't got a problem with Jerry. He talking about Micah. You get it? These are all things that makes. Then they fought, and they've been arguing on the sideline, but they had fist fought, I heard too. So it's, to me, I wouldn't give that goddamn near $50 million on my team, especially when I got CD and Dak tying up bread, and I got to pay George Pickens probably. I got to pay Tyler Smith. You know what I'm saying? I got Tyler Booker don't count, but I got to pay Tyler Smith. And you just it goes on and on with guys that you can afford to get now. You got to pay Bland. You know what I'm saying? He played Bland super early, but you got guys you can afford to go get because he's not here, and you can get better with draft picks. And we prove where you think he came from. We drafted him too. So how y'all saying draft picks don't count when the guy that we got rid of, we drafted his ass and developed him, and he ain't the only one. We've been doing this for years, been in the game for years. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is, man. That's how I look at it. He said, yeah, Micah got some hoe tendencies. Damn, that's crazy. Man, D-Law and Clark would have went crazy. Yeah, D-Law and Clark on the same team? Fuck, is you crazy? You ain't running no. And then Sam Williams on the other side when it come to run anyway. And kneeling. Sam Williams kneeling, D-Law, and Kenny Clark. Osa is like, he wears down midseason every year because he's small. But he played the run pretty well too when he wanted to. Cowboys fans are also theorizing Dak has something to do with the trade. Oh, thank you for bringing that up. I would have definitely wanted him traded if I was Dak. I would want him off my team because of the show. He went on a show during the season and named, nobody asked you to name him. He named the top 10 quarterbacks in the game to him. And he ain't put Dak in there. Now, last I checked, that's some of the weirdest shit I've ever seen. You know how important bulletin board material is to the league? I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you how important not saying shit is when you're in the NFL. Number one, there's been Spygate. Like, that's number one. Like, so people, they will steal your signals. They'll even read your lips in the NFL just to get an edge. That's how important words are, right? Belichick. If you speak to Belichick's team, any of those old Patriots teams, before a game, and you ask them a question about an opposing player, they will be so contrite and polite and, Just nice, short, and cute with it, with the answer. Why? Because they don't want to give him no bulletin board material. You know what I'm saying? Micah is bulletin board material. That's all he does is talk about shit he should not be talking about during the season. Because if you can't talk about, like, you can't talk bad about a player that you're about to face because they'll probably get amped up for the game and their team will rally around them, right? Just like we rallied around. I think people's getting slapped all day by Guyton because they spit on Dak. Everybody's playing with an edge except for CD and Ferg and them wide receivers wasn't playing with no edge, but everybody else was. Especially the offensive line. They was playing like they was mad for Dak. You know what I'm saying? So that definitely, bulletin board material definitely motivates people, right? You go up a couple points in your overall on Madden when you got that bulletin board material, like steroids. So his show was producing a bunch of that, and that's not good. And then to say your quarterback who's trying to focus on the season, or I don't know if he's hurt or not, but either way, he gets enough criticism from the media. So to add more to it and then have more questions have to be asked to him because of what Micah's doing. So you're like, so what do you got to think about? What do you think about Micah's show, Dak? That's what people are asking him now. So is that a distraction? By default, it is, because anytime I'm not talking about football, it's a distraction. And then this entire offseason, I don't know what the hell the training camp battles were. I don't. Other than Mazi and Jay Toye, and I made that battle popular. I did. So if it wasn't for that, all we talked about outside of that, outside of Mazi this offseason, training camp, was Micah Parsons' holdout. All we watched was Jerry Jones do interviews about Micah Parsons' holdout. I don't know what the team was doing. So was that a distraction? It was. Every year, other than maybe your first 2 years. So your second 2, you've been a distraction. Now, have you been a good player too? Yeah, but he's been a distraction. So, I think Dak definitely had a part in him getting up out of here. Yes, especially because of what he said on that show. You don't do that to your quarterback. That's dumb as shit. He said, yeah, LV and Micah, you don't have to try to make it. Told Micah you don't got to try to make every play. Yeah, you could make at linebacker, you could probably do that, but defensive end, you better not try it because you're gonna break contain and you're gonna fuck shit up. So what do I think about Houston? I don't know what the hell was wrong with Houston for 2023 and 2024, but Houston is way better than advertised. I gotta go watch. Maybe he had some weird injury or something, because his rookie year he had 8 sacks. Then he had 1 between the next 2 seasons, but they said he was unhealthy too. So I think that if he's healthy, he's a 10-sack guy. He proved that already. With Detroit, he got 8 in his rookie year. He's easily a 10-sack guy, and he can stop the run too. So I love the Houston acquisition. I like how he plays, and I think he's going to contribute. How do you feel about the rookie? How do you feel the rookie EZ played? I mean, he's not going to cut cobwebs off. I think he played fine. He got held twice. But outside of that, I saw him making tackles and running around, getting shit done. So I ain't mad about that. Ain't mad about that. He said Sam Williams played well against Philly. Yeah. Goff, Wentz, Lynch, Hickenberg, Brissett, Kessler, and Cook were all QBs in Dak's draft class. That's crazy. And Dak's still here. I'm not the biggest fan of Dak, but he wouldn't do half the stuff Micah does. Yeah, I know he would. Yeah, you crazy, Ken Lott. That's how crazy you are. We need a Kenny Gant or a James Washington. We do. We need some shady safeties. I think we have to get Pickens more involved. Everybody knows that. That's going to happen, though. You saying energy-wise. Yeah, we need a Bill Bates energy-wise. Somebody's just going to knock the shit out you. I think Dono is that guy. Dono will, he'll beat your ass. Like, he'll bust you up. Go up real quick. Yep, I agree. Consummate professionals for top tier money. Yep, you better be the guy that I know, like a DeMarcus Ware or Dak, where Dak got a half a football field at his house, and he brings the receivers there to catch up and work out, even if he doesn't want to. He does it. You know what I'm saying? His offensive line, he pays them, he takes them out, he makes sure they all cool, make sure they love his ass. So that's what leaders do. When the locker room arguing with you, you ain't the leader. Because leaders lead, and we don't have a problem with. I'm a man. Like if somebody know better than me, you know better than me. I'm gonna listen to you, even though I don't follow nobody. I don't work for nobody, but I partner with people all the time. I partner with folks. I got a bar opening up with my partner. If he know more than me, guess what I do? I shut the fuck up and I listen to him because he's a leader. But when I know more than him, guess what he does? He shuts the fuck up and he listens to me because I'm a leader. And in my area and in his area, we understand that, right? Same thing with my relationship, all that. So you just got to pick and choose your battles, right? But what you never see is leaders have to tell you, I'm a leader. I'm the leader. Listen to me. You ain't got to do that. You know why? Because we know if you're the leader, we're going to follow you anyway. Like, let's do what they got to do. I was in sales for years. My sales calls were the training material for brand.com, right? For all the staff that came in, they had to listen to me talk to clients on a recording. And that was how they trained. Why? Because I was making the most money there. They're like, well, let's just do what that guy does. Did they like me? I'm the only black guy there. They did like me though. I'm a fun person. Like at that time, I had a lot of fun. You know, let's just say Molly was a fun thing. But we do that on Fridays and go sell. We wasn't like doing freak shit. We'll go to happy hour on Fridays, right? At lunch. The whole training staff. Shout out to everybody who worked at brand.com in 2013, 2014, 2012. But yeah, we would go get tipsy at lunch and then pop a molly and go sell shit and make a hell of a lot of money on Fridays. And not feel bad or feel the pressure because on Fridays you also got fired if you weren't trending. If you were pulling a Mazi on the sales floor, they fire your ass on a Friday. So people that would take the edge off. But we would have fun like a motherfucker. So but I was the only black guy. So they didn't want to follow me because, you know, they like me. You know, they follow me because I was good. You don't gotta ask somebody to follow you if you're doing the right things. You don't have to argue with the people following you either. They're gonna follow you because they know, unless they just dumb, but they know that you are the good. So I don't think he was a leader when it comes to. And then the way he left out my back, my neck and my back, and then now you playing week 1. But he wasn't gonna play in the Eagles game, or at least he was gonna try to act like he wasn't. But that let me know everything I needed to know. I said, all right, well, he want his money. I'm cool with him getting his money. And if that's what you're doing it for, get your money, young blood. And I wish him greatness. Do all that. But if you're going for greatness, you wouldn't have pulled that move. Ray Lewis don't pull that move. Fred Warner, I don't think does that. You know what I'm saying? You notice that some guys get re-signed, and you're like, well, why they re-sign him? And he's injured. Because he's a consummate pro or because he moved correctly. You know what I'm saying? Or because they get a good deal because he may be injured too. Like Trayvon, I think. Dak was injured when he got his or got injured, then got his deal. They will, but I like the Gallup. They should have never gave Gallup money. But I like the fact that they do that. You know what it tells me? When he pays a guy who was injured or even drafts a guy who's injured, it tells me Jerry is a value guy. He likes intrinsic value. You know what I'm saying? So if you bleed for the star, he will pay you. He will pay you. If you bleed for the star and you're a savant like Micah Parsons and you're going to break the bank or reset the market, he'll pay you if it means I'm going to the Super Bowl. He paid Deion because it meant going to the Super Bowl. He got Charles Haley because it meant going to a Super Bowl. You got to be that. You can't be losing already and not showing up at all. I can see we lost, but Micah is showing up, meaning, we had 3 sacks that game and a forced fumble. If only Dak would have not thrown an interception, they win the game. Then I would get why you don't play with Micah Parsons on no trade because he's a game wrecker who's killing it in the playoffs. Well, he kills the same teams that Mazi kills. Division rivals. He kills the Giants. Everybody kills the Giants, though. DeMarcus Lawrence, I think the Giants owe him He owed the Giants some money. Flowers, I think it was. But he owed the Giant lineman some money because his year he got his check. He was stunting so crazy. You know what I mean? But DeMarcus Lawrence owed somebody some money. Because we all beat up on the Giants, we beat up on Washington, or they beat up on us, and the Eagles. So those are 6 games you're gonna look good in anyway. Right? Now you got another 4 games you need to ball out in. And I'm not trying to take nothing off of them or away from them by having this conversation. You're just asking me the question, and I'm giving you the honest answer. As I said, I'm going to start watching more Green Bay games because I want to watch Micah Parsons. He's still my favorite player. But I ain't gonna lie, for him or on him. That's it. All right, what else you got? Let me see. Oh, you said Shamar James. Okay. I ain't see that. I ain't see what you saying. Akoye trying to put it on record. There's no Diddy after Molly popping. Oh, that's on record. Yeah, no Diddy. No Diddy. Yeah, no Diddy after that. But we had some fun though. We had fun. He said, hell no. Nah. He said, on Molly, are you shitting me? Nah, I ain't shitting you. I used to have fun, man. He said, there's no sex in the champagne room. I never been good with that. I don't like strippers and hoes, man. And not like I dislike them. I used to run a strip club, but I never tried to smash. Not maybe I tried to smash one, but I knew her before we worked there. I grew up with her, but other than that, no, never went at a stripper, both while I was working or in the strip club. It just don't work for me, man. I don't like it. And I mean it like this. Like, think about it this way. One, I can get, I don't need to get in that. I can get women without paying them nothing. So why the hell I'm going to go to a strip club and give you money to go home alone? That don't make no goddamn sense. That don't make no to anybody that do it, I'm not playing you, man. Go trick off if that's what you do. But I just don't see the sense in it, when places like DR exist as well. Like, but even that, like, you gotta like me for me to want to be able to deal with you. If you don't like me genuinely, I don't like you either. That's the way I am. I don't give a fuck if I'm not gonna pay you to like me. I ain't doing that. Y'all know me, man. I wouldn't do that. So yeah, no sex in the champagne room for real. All right, let's see. He said, bruh, I'm a straight L7 at square, not really, but chill for sure. Yeah, I chill regular. I disagree that Parsons is on LT's level. You not listening to the context. If you heard it, then you would understand what I mean. I'm not saying he's on LT's level as a defensive end or outside linebacker. I'm just saying he's versatile. He's more versatile than LT. Is he? Is he more versatile than LT? Can he play more positions on the football field than Lawrence Taylor? Yes or no? Maybe you don't think he can. I mean, I would give LT. LT could play middle linebacker if you needed him to. He ain't playing 3-tech though. He ain't playing skinny 1-tech like Micah. You know what I'm saying? He ain't about to hit you with some A-gap pressures, and he ain't about to drop back and stop the pass at all. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying he better. Akoye, you believe Turpin gets a few touchdowns on special teams? Of course. He said, that's what I'm saying. What are you saying? He said Micah is definitely is more versatile. That's all I was saying. I'm not saying that if you put them in the same stratosphere, he's going to be better. He's going to get outstat LT. No, even if he eclipses him in sacks, that don't mean shit to me. It's a passing era, and you don't have to deal with the shit that those people had to deal with. They was getting like, I remember you used to be able to slap guys in the ear back in the day. You used to be able to do certain shit you can't do now. You know what I mean? Like hit people across the middle of the field. A lot of shit changed the game. LT had 9 interceptions. I don't think they tracked pass defense. I think LT was better all around player. Is he more versatile? Can LT play safety if he want? I like Micah. I don't gotta keep saying this shit, man. You don't gotta agree with me. I'm not going to try to fight and make Micah Parsons automatically better than LT. I'm just saying he had the potential to be, for sure. Still has it. If he got with a 3-4 team, like if Micah Parsons got drafted by Pittsburgh, do you know how crazy the league would be talking about this man? If he was moving around a 3-4 defense, from middle linebacker to outside linebacker to 3-tech to 1-tech, sometimes you playing him like a weird safety. So you got only 5 or 4 3 defensive backs and Micah Parsons, and then 4 down linemen and 3 linebackers, but Micah Parsons is like just there doing what he like. That would be crazy, man. That would be crazy. They said, bro might kill your eardrum. Akoye, your point about bulletin board material. No Joe Milton talk now. Who was talking about Joe Milton? Micah Parsons was talking about Joe Milton? Wild shit, man. Bro might kill your eardrum. Salute Akoye, not to go off topic, but I've seen you in boxing interviews. Who you got between Canelo and Crawford? Oh, that's a great question. Shout out to YSM Sports Media too. If you want to see some boxing content, I have a show that's starting called Akoye Knows Boxing, but I also do interviews on YSM Sports Media. So if you've seen some of the videos I've done over there, I get more views over there than I do over here. It's crazy, and then on my channel. But I think that now that Crawford's brought in Boots for training camp, so Jerron Ennis came in for camp and sparred with not Crawford, but with Canelo. I think Canelo won't be surprised by Crawford's switch hitting capability. So because he's not going to be surprised by it, I think that gives Canelo the edge in regards to preparation. Canelo's already a savvy vet, but him getting a good read on what that style would look like is only good for him. Even though I don't know how well he did against Boots, but Boots trains like a demon, so I'm pretty sure Boots tried to knock his head off, especially because it's Canelo. So I don't know because Boots does not spar; he fights. So him going after Crawford now after sparring Boots, who's bigger and I think a little more athletic than Crawford, I think that was a genius move by Canelo. It's a 50-50 fight, meaning if Canelo gets in there early and establishes his body work and he works on cutting off the ring a little bit better than he has been in the last couple years, he could slow Crawford down and win the fight in the later rounds due to the fact that Crawford won't be able to move as well if he's beating on that body. If Crawford is working on his movement and he can keep Canelo on his toes and he goes in there and he does not try to exchange, meaning he just boxes. I'm going to stay behind my jab. I'm not going for a knockout unless it comes to me. I'm going to stay away from him. I'm going to use the full ring. Crawford can win that by points, easy, or even knockout. I don't think he can knock Canelo out though, but he can win if he can stay away from Canelo. It's like who's going to master their game well enough and impose their will well enough to beat an indomitable opponent. And I can't say Canelo's indomitable. He's been beaten. Crawford hasn't. So it's going to be a good fight. That's one of the few 50-50 fights I've seen in the last couple of years. So and I didn't think that Errol Spence had a chance against Crawford because Errol Spence's style, I broke his style down on this channel years ago. So I didn't think he had a chance, but it's going to be a fight between Canelo and Crawford. That's going to be a hell of a fight. So it's not a one-size-fits-all answer, but this is a true 50-50 fight. I think good big man usually beats good little man, but Crawford ain't really that little. Canelo ain't really that big. It's just that he's short and compact. Crawford is a taller, linkier guy. He's not tall, but he's like 5'10". But depending on your frame, you can cut weight. Like my son, right? We were down in Vegas. I'm watching him cut weight. He had like 7 pounds to go when we got on the plane, and we were there for a day. He got all 7 pounds off in one day. I'm like, how the fuck did you do that? Sweated it out, didn't drink the water, worked out, got in a hot ass bath, and then put a bunch of towels on him with a sauna suit on. Sweated that shit right off, and made weight and whooped some ass on an empty stomach the next day. And then we ate like kings. But some guys, I'm saying that to say, some guys can shrink down or can cut weight and get smaller or get to a smaller weight than their actual walk around weight, way smaller. Meaning Canelo and Crawford may walk around at the same weight, but Canelo stops at 168 or 160 or 154. Remember Canelo used to go down that far too. Canelo, I think, was at 145, 47 at one point, or 154. I don't remember being much lower than that. But in the early career, he was, right? So obviously, frame-wise, he's not that far off Crawford. It's just that now he's more muscular because as he went up in weight, he was allowed to lift weights and do more power stuff, right? Crawford couldn't because he couldn't add on muscle because he needed to still make 140 and 147. Now he doesn't. So I don't know who the bigger man is, but I do know Crawford is strong as fuck because he's a wrestler. So I don't think Canelo's necessarily the bigger man. That's all. Okay. Honestly, I think it's preference between the two. I don't believe this is the hill Akoye trying to die on. Both LT and Micah are great. Yeah, no, I'm not trying to die on that hill. It's just something I said, man. I know what you're saying, brother. Tomlin would have matured Parsons, though. We would be having a different conversation. Yo, Akoye, we've been waiting for the boxing channel for like 3 years. No, y'all haven't. Y'all ain't been watching the shit. That's why you don't watch. That's why you don't see it now. I got a boxing channel. I've had one. Akoye knows boxing is there. And then, this is me, though. It's probably me. Go to DRCO boxing.com. That's my website. Draco Boxing. I own that. I own Draco Boxing. I'm a promoter. I'm a boxing promoter. So I've been putting out boxing content for years. Even on this channel, I've been putting it out for years. I just haven't done it consistently because they got to pay. The WBC got to pay me. You got to pay me, Jack. Especially if you want me to do more than what I do here. You got to pay me, bro. Like, think about it. You got 5,000 to make today, or you got content to make today. Which one you doing? I'm doing the 5,000. You know what I'm saying? Every time. So now I've done that long enough where I can sit still and not worry about it. So this is costing me money to sit here, but it's cool. You know what I mean? But I'm not gonna go crazy. I ain't stupid. You know what I'm saying? So I feel you though. We waited for 3 years for that shit. Excellent point. Appreciate it, man. Definitely enjoy your boxing takes. Thank you. Chargers held off the Chiefs. Yeah, we saw that. I have a feeling by week 7 or 8, defense will be more respected if healthy. I agree. Damn, y'all got a lot to say here. I'm trying to get all you. SM, not disagreeing, but when a player does do the work to tap into his full potential, I don't give him that. LT was a smart player. Parsons wants to rush, less effort. Very true. Oh yeah, no, we're not going to disagree there at all. Sauna suit, crazy work. I wear sauna suit like all day long. That's tough, Akoye. Boom. Shout out to wrestlers. No, he does Brazilian jiu-jitsu. Akoye, I listened to the game on 105.3 The Fan. They were saying Pickens was running garbage routes, allegedly the reason for the minimal targets. I could probably agree. I think, they kind of was lazy on the routes. Pickens is not a route runner, though. Pickens is a Dez guy. You got to throw him 50-50 balls. Great analysis. Thank you. Look forward to your boxing champ. Appreciate you, bro. What do you think about Revel at safety? We don't need safeties. We got 2 of them that I wouldn't mind starting. Get the bag, sir. Yes, sir, Mr. Reezy. My knock on Parsons has always been that he could have been the single greatest defensive football player ever, or at least in the game, I would say, today. He chose to be a top 5 player in this era. I'm sorry we're talking about this dude. Oh, yeah, he could be the best if he studied and he wanted to be. If Micah played and forced himself to play his true position, you can't stop Micah Parsons. There's a reason why. In the middle of the field, I don't even got to say nothing. For those who haven't seen, if 3 people haven't seen my Micah Parsons breaks downs, if 3 of you say 1 or write a flame in the chat or 1 in the chat, I'll put the video up on my way out. All right. But I think most of y'all have seen my Micah Parsons videos. But him versus the Vikings is probably the best game he ever played. Like somebody told me he can't play middle linebacker. I said, yo, his best game I've ever seen him in was him as a middle linebacker. He made plays everywhere, behind the line of scrimmage, in coverage, versus run, pass rushing. He did everything. Got pressures. He was everywhere. You do that with him every week, can't nobody deal with Micah Parsons. You won't know what to do because you scout one guy. He a Gemini too, so they change like the weather. Trust me, I know my mom a Gemini, my ex-wife a Gemini, and my current wife a Gemini, so I know them motherfuckers are bipolar. But Kanye Gemini too, so it's Kendrick. You know what I mean? Andre 3000. They some weird people, man, but they are multi-talented. But anyway, whatever you scouting last week with Micah Parsons, he's on something totally different next week because you can use him a whole different way. You can use him at defensive end a whole game, right? Because this game is the game to use him at defensive end, right? On a particular game or outside linebacker. Then the next week he middle linebacker because this game we play in Miami and they're gonna run up the gut. Or we playing San Fran, they're gonna run at us. So now he linebacker most of the game, but third and long, he back on the line. Man, come on, man. Everybody's seen it, so I ain't gotta do that. I mean, shout out to the Gemini crew. I'm a Taurus, so I ain't a goddamn Gemini. We better. But yeah, I feel you. But listen, y'all stop asking questions. Damn. I'm trying to get it where y'all stop asking so I can get up out of here. Do you think the Cowboys could use a player with the same energy as a Dez Bryant that Dez Bryant brought? He was my favorite Cowboy. I appreciate you sticking up for him when he was getting a lot of hate. I think we have players that have that type of mentality now. Yeah. Fiery, and they want to win. Dak wants to win, but he's not fiery. He's like a company man. Like he's super, he's a quarterback though. They're supposed to be. He probably act crazy off the field, but I actually think he does. But Dono's a guy, a tone setting guy. I don't know if he's vocal, but he's a tone setting type of guy. I like Kenny Clark. But when you say like a Dez, you mean like cursing people out on the sideline and people listening to him? I think you got to earn that, and you don't got to curse people out. I think Sean Lee was a great leader, but you had to scream. I look at when you screaming and hollering, even with Dez, like you hurting yourself. One, you wasting energy. Two, you're making yourself look bad because obviously you know how they're going to portray you. But three, you letting it be known, like myself, you probably wasn't raised with your dad. I wasn't, and I had emotional outbursts. I had unstable home, which Dez did. So on, because men don't get super fiery emotional all day, every day. I used to, right? So, and that's not a knock on Dez. Like I said, I'm not hating on him. He told his story. But most of the time, a common trait that I see with a lot of fighters that come in, the ones that's always angry, like your Javante Davises, they angry and they want to fuck something up. They usually ain't got dad home. They mad. For real. The kids who got dads at home, they usually not that good fighter. You know why? Because they could fight, but it's just they not as passionate when they fighting. They not fighting off emotion. They fighting off of logic. It's just like I'm going to come in, I'm going to get good at this, and I'm going to keep coming. You know what I'm saying? Whereas the kid that's good from the rip, he just good as soon as he get in the door, he got a lot of demons. He come in angry. So I don't think you're looking for that in a person, but you can play with it. But I don't think you say, let me go find that, because then you got to mold that person into something that you can use, right? But you can play with it if it finds you. Yeah, for sure. There's another Dez type would be great. I don't mean play wise. I mean attitude wise. Yeah, for sure. But yeah, that's usually why you see that though, and that's no shade. That's me too. I mean, same handle on all platforms. Yeah. Where am I now? Draco. Oh, not my. I'm gonna put it in the chat. My website. Let me go to it so y'all can see it. Make sure my website's still up. God damn it. Yep, it's up. Yep. Go on my IG, you can see what the fight looked like, but this is the website. That's my business right there. I throw major fights here in Philadelphia. So the last, for those of you who follow Gillian Wallow's knockout parties, those are me. I did those. Well, one of them. I didn't do both. They did my fight and I did theirs last year. So August 24th last year, they did my event, Bravehearts Knocking Out Violence. Shout out to them. Shout out to Gillian Wallow. And then I went and did theirs December 20th in Delaware. So yeah, boxing, I might not have the channel, but I've been getting my paper. You know what I'm saying? Gotta do it. See, I can't stand stupid players. Yeah. Jalen Carter did something stupid. I don't like Jalen Carter no more, man. As a person, I don't like him. He said Dak a mentalist. That's why he lured Jalen Carter into exactly who he is. Yeah, he probably did. Dak do be pissing people off. Like he do piss people off. But you never know. Something wrong with Jalen. I believe Nealon will get better this year too. He already has. So I'm not jumping ahead of myself, but this team is exactly what I thought they would be. So can the Giants keep up? I mean, styles make fights, but I don't think they can. I don't think they can. I don't think they can. The Giants always suck. Yeah, it always suck. What up, Cowboys 1986? What up? All right, man. It's 200 of y'all on here. It's 2:00 in the morning. That's wild as shit. So y'all night owls like me. It's Friday though, so I know why y'all up. But the Eagles held so much in this game, not one call. Yeah, that was wild. They be cheating the shit. But that's how you know you need killers, man. They gotta be killers because you gotta be able to deal with cheating to compete in this league if you're the Cowboys. You gotta be like unblockable. You gotta be a killer, because they're gonna hold you. I mean, it's gonna happen to every team, every game, but it'd be blatant and we don't get those calls. That's wild. And then if I'm gonna go more I have a conspiratorial point of view. Just think about the momentum for a minute. They did not stop us the whole first half. They could not stop the Cowboys. The Eagles could not at all. Now, I think that there must have been a lot of money in Vegas on the over because neither team scored another fucking point in the second half. They also did a rain delay. Like, you've never seen these things. All these things happen in one game. Okay. You see a rain delay. We don't score. Both teams, I think, was goose eggs in the second half. I think maybe they scored 3 points in the second half. But both teams pretty much shut out the second half. Miles Sanders he runs a 50-yard run. He gets out on a break, and he looked like he's running about as fast as Mazi. I swear he did not look fast. I'm like, what the fuck is going on with that? Then he had no burners, no acceleration. Bond, this is how you know he didn't. Bond is a linebacker. Usually a guy got to secure you to punch the ball out. Bond was just running and punching at the ball. He punched the ball 3 times and then still had enough time to tackle him. If a guy punches at the ball and misses, he shouldn't be able to tackle you no more unless he already secured you. He ain't secure shit. He just punched you, still was able to tackle you. So that was weird to me. And then right after you give up that play, as soon as you come back to play, you fumble. It's like, bro, you ain't want to score. You know what I'm saying? CD Lamb, you can't catch no more at all. I mean, what's really good? He couldn't catch shit in the second half. Now, it was wet. That was a good excuse, but that was all weird, real weird. It was like it was the eerie feeling like when they turned the lights off in the Super Bowl type shit. It was like Vegas supposed to be getting their ass whooped tonight because Dallas is doing what it's doing. So Vegas is like, shit, they cannot go over 45. We stopping that. You know what I'm saying? We stopping that. That was wild. So I think that that was some weird shit. I don't remember what question y'all asked me to get me to go on that, but that was a weird shit to me. Oh, you talking about the holding? Yeah, we was talking about that. They gave the Eagles pass interference calls and holds too, but they called them on Dallas. The delay helped the defenses. Yeah, the delay did help the defenses. Yeah, Sam Williams needs to learn to swipe down on the wrist or the forearm, something that make them let you go. Yeah, he need to learn some judo chop, some judo, some jujitsu. Yeah, Eagles were holding like clingy female or a toddler. Yeah, I like clingy females though. It's better than the motherfucking one that don't fuck with you at all. Great stream, Akoye. Conspiratorial view, meaning conspiracy. Y'all better be keeping up. I know it's 2 a.m. Oh, somebody asked me what my favorite book is. It is The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. That's my favorite book. Yep. That book, I give it to people. I buy it and give it. I don't even own a copy no more, I don't think. Because every time I buy one, I give it to somebody. But I fuck with The Alchemist, man. I got a bunch of books though. But The Alchemist. And then my second favorite book is my most expensive book. I got a book that costs $2,000, man. I brag about that. But it's called The Greatest Story Never Told by Lana Cantrell. That book is a game changer. Yeah. You should read it. If you read it, if you read that or The Celestial Ship of the North, you ain't gonna be the same person. So don't read it unless you really are ready to change. Yeah, for sure. But remember, that's The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho, The Greatest Story Never Told by Lana Cantrell. Inquiry into Hermeticism by Marianne Atwood. That's a pretty good book. In Search of the Miraculous by P.D. Ospansky. These is like philosophical books. You know, I'm like a philosopher. These are books that I read. And then the other one I like is where is it? This book right here. This book you should have in your house. It's like $100 book, but you should get it. It's called the Anti-Aging Encyclopedia. I'm 42. I'm a grandfather. I don't look like one. That's because of this book. But the Anti-Aging Encyclopedia is a very good book. Every ailment that you can have, even COVID, before people knew what COVID been in there, and that book been out since the 20s. I don't know. It's an old ass book, but it's the 4th edition. But everything's in there, and it'll tell you how to treat any illness with herbs. If you guys look over here, I'm a herbalist too. I'm gonna just show y'all. You see those herbs over there? Got herbs everywhere. So I took like a herbal class or course when I lived in Charlottesville, Virginia in like 2015. So that's all I do. I address everything holistically, unless I'm getting shot, stabbed, or some shit like that. So those are the books I like, man. Just so you know, I read a lot of crazy shit. It was definitely a silent hand play. Yeah, that's for sure. He said he was over there yawning on the sideline. Akoye, you know the deal. Must be the money. The house never loses. Hell no, they don't. 75% of the money was on Philly. Damn. Well, on Philly to cover though, right? Did they cover? Mailata was holding easy all night in front of the refs. Yep, because he kept trying that dumbass spin move. That man at Lost in Translation podcast trying to go to sleep. Yeah, I'm tired of shit. Mailata was holding the whole game. That was me. I asked about the book. Oh, all right, bet. Salute. I'm just finished. I just finished the show. Oh, that's what's up. Lost in Translation podcast. I gotta follow you. I don't know you, bro, but I'm about to put a star on you. Make sure you guys show him some support. I know I will. I'm gonna go check you out. In closing, he said, "Yo, get the fuck off the live. Y'all don't gotta stay up here, man. I just be talking shit." I just read The Alchemist. All right, Santiago. You know what I mean? We gotta talk about that. Hit me up on my on IG and we could talk. I've heard of The Greatest Story Never Told. Yeah, you should definitely read that. I love learning about esoteric and occult knowledge. Me too. I'm a Mason, so that's what we do. Akoye getting y'all tapped into your pineal gland. That's a fact. Damn it, Akoye, shit, you moving too fast. I'm gonna need time for doing this. Books are such a lost art. Knowledge is everything. You know what people don't realize when they come to books? I had to tell my sons this. I said, if something is not on the internet, does it exist? It's sort of like when you say, if a tree falls in the woods and nobody's there, does it make a sound? It's like that question, because people really don't remember a time before the internet. There are books and books and books and books and books. It's fucking thousands of books full of shit that you never see on the internet, ever. You'll never see it. But people think because it's not on the internet, it ain't true or it ain't happened. If I don't archive it on the internet, it exists. You just don't know it exists. You know what I'm saying? That's the difference. But people don't understand that concept. They think the internet is where all the knowledge is. That's where the fastest access to it is. But that don't even hold a candle to what's really out here. And then you could be forever learning, but never coming to the knowledge of the truth. I know a bunch of smart, like my brother is a fucking lawyer. He works for city council. Like he's like third in charge in this city. Meaning there's the mayor and her staff. Then there's the president of city council. And he's the lead attorney or head counsel for the president, Kenyatta Johnson, right? He's smart as fuck. He a lawyer, right? And he has a master's degree and his Juris Doctorate and all. He's smart as fuck. My bro's smart. But if we have these type of conversations, he can't hang with me. Why? Because he's smart in his vertical. but a well-rounded mind. And I'm not like bragging on him, like he knows this, like, but it's just like that. Like I don't know. It's just a different mindset, man. And to me, you got to understand that like knowledge is out here and you got to be thirsty for it. And that's just the way I am, man. In all things, I'm just like that. You said you thought you was helping. No, if I was trying to get off, I'll jump off here, bro. I ain't trying to go nowhere. I know, was it Pickens didn't have any separation or Dak not looking his way? He probably just knew he wasn't gonna get the ball and he wasn't going hard. Dewey Decimal used to be the internet at one time. Some stuff will never hit the internet. That's a fact. A book can't be edited after it has been printed. That's a fact too. And the internet can't be edited once you put that shit out there. It's something called the Wayback Machine. You ever heard of that? Google the Wayback Machine and you take someone's website and put it in there. You can see everything that was ever on it. You know what I mean? I used to work, when I said I was in sales earlier in this video, I used to work for a company called brand.com. I was the fucking man. What I did and what I could still do, I'm still a consultant that can do it. I just don't want to do it anymore. But the reason you guys know who I am and the reason my content always ranks is because of the things I learned from that job. It was called online reputation management. That was the industry that we were in. So when you have negative content that's online, like, you know, I don't want to bring up his charge because he died. Let's just say Royal Caribbean, right? People die on cruise ships all the time, every day. Matter of fact, for example, right now you can go on Google and type in Royal Caribbean. Just Google them. Some of y'all Google Royal Caribbean, right? You Google that, you're going to find tickets. You're going to find all types of shit to buy a cruise. They were one of my clients, right? I can say this now because it's been 10 years, 15 years, some shit like that. It's been a lot of years, 12 years. I can say it. Now, go to Google them, right? And when in the auto suggest, type in fire. You're going to see just yesterday, it was probably a fire on 3 or 4 ships. If you didn't type in, take fire out, type in death. You're going to find a couple just died off the coast of Argentina or Aruba or some shit like that yesterday. Those things can never make it to their normal search history. Why? Because ain't nobody buying no goddamn tickets if they see a couple just died yesterday. Person got left on the coast of this place. That happens every day because it's just travel. That's just natural. A fucking captain ain't waiting to see every person that got back on the cruise at when they deported. They don't know. You know what I'm saying? So people die every day, B. That will never make the internet. You know what I'm saying? So I would never make it to the front page because there's someone creating content that's designed to push negative content back by outranking by outranking it with positive shit. That's what I used to do for a living. So that's what I do now because I don't got no negatives. It's easy for me to rank because I don't got to get rid of nothing. I just got to do shit. That's it. So I teach people how to do that, right? That's why I say, like, in another thing, like when we was talking about AOC, right? I don't have a personal problem with boys. It's just like, well, I do, but it's not like between me and him. It's like the way I've heard. Well, I've been away for a while, so just things that I've heard that I did not sit well with me. But everybody knows. I bring that up not to focus back on him, but I'm talking about other content creators in general. They will never tell you, and most of them won't tell you because they want to. You know, most people I've ever helped want to appear as though they've done it themselves, which is fine with me. I don't care. But I'll tell people who helped me. Law Nation has helped the shit out of me. Botch, Skywalker Still, Foots, they've helped me, especially with the round table. Oh, West Coast Cowboy, he was the first person to put me on. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of content creators that help me, right? But the ones who I help don't mention anything. They don't say nothing. You see them. Everybody you watch, most of them, if there's somebody, probably came through me. If not law. And I'm not being cocky when I say that. I mean, when I say came through me, I don't mean like I grandfather you into content creation. It ain't like that. I'm just saying we'll talk and we'll spend time, learning from each other or, gleaning. Like, listen, I'll give them whatever game I got. You know what I mean? We used to do that after every round table. Like, here, do this, and this. And they'll tell me too. We do that. The young ones that's coming up, that's like, scared to get out there and they haven't even made content yet. We'll be talking. I'm coaching you, tuning them up, making sure they cool. And they, you know what I mean? They jump out there and jump out the window, right? So they know that. So I would never hate on a content creator. That's what I'm trying to say about the AOC thing. I wouldn't hate on bull. I ain't got no. It wouldn't be like I'm mad that he got more followers or if you making money. I'm not mad at shit. I'm not competing with nobody, and I'm not joking. I'm cool. I'm cool bread wise, but I'm cool within myself. So if I say something about you, it's because I don't like something you did, and I will tell you what it is. It ain't never hate. It ain't never hate because I don't want nothing you got. I'm not. I'm not. I really don't. I've had everything I wanted. I've done everything I wanted, other than blow this channel up to a point where it's worldwide recognizable. But I'm not looking to be the Cowboys anything. I want to be Akoye, and this is a podcast. This is supposed to be a podcast when I started it, but football hijacked it, right? So that's what we're doing now. All right. He said he ain't lying. The rabbit hole's deeper than you know. There's information, knowledge, and wisdom. It takes being well-rounded to know the difference. Yep. Information. Yep. Knowledge. Knowledge is like focused information, and wisdom is the ability to be able to apply it. To apply it. Who's the author of the book The Alchemist? Paulo Coelho. Paulo Coelho. Coelho. I think it starts with a C. Missing people in national parks, yet folks go because they never hear about missing people. Facts. You'll hear about them because they ain't come back. That'd be funny as hell. Oh, man. Oh, man. All right. PHA out here in Cali. Shout out West Coast Cowboy. He his own cloth. Yeah, West Coast, my man. Akoye doesn't come across as a gatekeeper. You can tell a thorough one. You know, I ain't no gatekeeper. You want anybody ask me anything, they hit me up. I'm like, hit me up. I'll tell you exactly what to do. No problem. So it's low key BS gatekeeping. Shout out AOC. You said so it's low key BS gatekeeping? No, it ain't, bro. I ain't gatekeeping shit. I just told you I ain't gonna tell you. You could ask AOC, guarantee you he ain't gonna. Why you think he ain't talking about me? Why you think he don't say shit? It ain't because he got the moral high ground. It's because I told him exactly why I don't want to do no contact with him. I told him why I had an issue. I'm not gatekeeping the young boy or old head. I don't know how old he is. But again, if you think I'm a hater or you come here for that, you can troll in the joint. I even let you exist. I ain't blocking you. I ain't even mad at you, bro. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. But I know I'm not gatekeeping on him, man. I actually was going to do a show with him. I told him I can't after hearing certain things that he's done. And it ain't gatekeeping. It ain't even got shit to do with football at all. That's my problem. Like, why are we not keeping it football? Why is this not a football thing? It was some shit that he did that has nothing to do with football at all. At all. That I don't bang with. Just you know how I feel about Jalen Carter when I said Jalen Carter spit on a person? Well, it's something that would make me not want to deal with a person. That's all. And that's it. But I ain't gonna tell what that is either. Because again, if I'm gatekeeping or hating, I would just tell you and then it will be out, right? But I'm not doing that either. You know what I'm saying? So no. But he can if he want to tell you, but I ain't gonna tell you. That's why I rock with you. You are on grown man-ish. That's a fact. This is why I rock with you. You combine football with hidden knowledge. Akoye, I found you from watching Vach and Sky. I have been hooked ever since. Oh man, appreciate you, bro. Basically, it's grown man business and Akoye keeping it G. That's the truth. All right, let me give you one esoteric thing, then I get out of here, right? This is something that that ain't on Google, that you can't Google, but it's true. All right, I'm gonna tell you something that I shouldn't tell you online. I'm gonna tell you anyway. Okay. So I study multiple religions. Why? Because it's just I don't practice them. I'm just studying them. I'm a religiophile, I guess. I just study ancient spirituality, right? Something that intrigued me, right, is in Ifa. So if anyone knows what Ifa is, it's like an African tradition, right, where they kind of celebrate the 7 African powers, right? Ogun, the Orishas, right? Ogun, Oshun, Shango, all of them, right? But there's a character named Eshu or Yeshua or Eshu in that pantheon, right? And the pantheon is just a group of gods. There's a character in that named Eshu. Eshu was here. His story is that he was here when they created the earth, right? I'm gonna tell you some shit. And this, I only tell you, it's not to get you all religious. I'm just saying this can never be, you can prove it, but you can't Google it. It don't exist on Google, but it's true. Check it out. So Eshu, his story is that he's a head, he's just a head, right? And he has no body. There is no story in their pantheon or in their religious text about where his body is. He's just a head, meaning he represents consciousness, memory, and the mind, the power of the mind. And you have to go through Eshu to get any prayers heard. So he's the owner of the crossroads, right? In their pantheon. Eshu. There's a story of him having no head, but all prayers have to go through him in that religion. And he's the head of that pantheon, right? Boom. Okay. In Hindu culture, there's a character, he back there somewhere, but by the name of Ganesh or Ganeshu or Ganesha, right? He's an elephant head. And his story is Shiva, who is the divine masculine figure, and Parvati, which is divine feminine figure, right? Shiva left Parvati. This is their anthropomorphized story, meaning they gave them human characteristics in order to make you remember it better. So these aren't real people. People get confused. It's not literal, but it's energetically speaking. Shiva, or the divine masculine energy, left the divine feminine energy, and she created a offspring, the Immaculate Conception. In their pantheon, in the Hindu culture, is Ganesh. She made a boy, a sentinel, who was just watching her, right? And when Shiva came back, he saw the boy watching. He don't know who he is. He's like, yo, who watching my bitch? And he cut his head off. And his head rolled somewhere and he didn't know where it went. Parvati come out like, yo, that's my son. I made him without you. Boom. Oh, shit. Let me go get it. So he sent all of the devas, which is the gods. He sent Hindu gods. He sent all of them to go find the head. They couldn't find it, but they found the elephant carcass. Elephants have the longest memory, right? They represent memory. They represent the consciousness, so on, right? So he found the elephant head and he blessed the head. He brought it back to life and he put the head on the boy. So now that's why Ganesha has a human body and an elephant head. And the story is nobody knows where his head went, right? All prayers have to go through him. He has the same powers as Eshu, right? All prayers have to go through him and he's blessed, right? So boom, I'm telling you this, right? Vedas, not Devas, right? Vedas, my bad. So anyway, all prayers have to go through him, whatever, right? So in their culture, in the Hindu culture, they don't know where Ganesha's head is, and he has the same power as Eshu, and he don't know where his body is. They're the same figure, but the body of Eshu is in the Hindu culture's pantheon or religious story, and the head for Ganesha is in the Ifa religious story. And people who practice Ifa will never practice Hinduism. People who practice Hinduism will not practice Ifa, so they will never fucking know. And you can't Google that. But both those religions have the pieces to each other's story and don't even know it. And this is how you prove it. Ganesha's name is literally Ghana Eshu, because Ifa was started in Benin, which is now Ghana, or in West Africa. It's not Ghana, but West Africa. But Ghana is in West Africa. And Ganesha's name is literally Ghana Eshu. Ganesha. Ghana Eshu. And then his head is Eshu. And that's where Eshu is. I have Eshu over there. But his head is Eshu. Eshu's body is Ganesh. They're the same motherfucker. And then you go through every pantheon and you just track their powers rather than the person's name. They go by many names. You track their pantheon and you can trace them in every pantheon, their powers, every pantheon, including Christianity and every other one, right? So it's just interesting to me. That type of shit, I study shit for no reason. I'm not a religious person. I study shit for no reason though. But yeah. Anyway, I'm out of here now, y'all. All right. He said, my brother is in touch with the answers, and some of y'all aren't ready for that. All y'all ain't ready for that shit. Y'all ain't ready for that. Akoye, really someone you can trust, in my humble opinion. Salute. I hope so, man. I hope so. Boom. All right. He said, damn, you learned something new. Appreciate it. Good night. Spiritual, my brother. I used to look for differences in religions, but they're all similar. It's crazy. Last thing, and then I'm gonna say this. And this is not a whole story. It's just real quick to understand what you just said. I was raised super Christian, right? What made me chill and start to understand other religions was like I just didn't understand the hell thing. Like, yo, what if you never heard of Christianity? You just going to hell. Damn, that's crazy. I was born in the wrong family. I'm just out of here. It's wild. I thought that was a cruel punishment. But anyway, long story short, the way religion is, after you start looking at the Norse pantheon, every pantheon, you learn all of the guys in every pantheon, you realize all of them have different pieces to the story, right? So it would be like if I blindfolded you right now and I said, describe a car. I blindfolded 5 people. You're a Hindu, you got the wheel, the wheels of the car. You're a Christian, you holding the bumper. Matter of fact, let's say an elephant. All right, let's use an elephant. It's easier to describe. So you're a Christian, you're holding the foot. So you're holding the foot of the elephant. You're a Hindu guy, you're holding the tail. The Muslims is holding the snout or the trunk, or whatever you call that. Somebody else is holding the ear. And I told them, y'all all blindfolded. I said, now describe God. Now this is the piece of God that you know. This is all you know, right? You don't know the rest. The guy who's holding the ear be like, well, what does God look like? And he's talking to the Muslim guy. He's like, you look like a stingray. It's flat. You know what I mean? Look like a stingray. He's like, no, it don't. Why? Because I'm holding it and it look like a boa constrictor because he's holding the snout or the nose, right? And that's like a snake. So he's like, it look like a snake or a boa constrictor. No, it doesn't. The guy holding the foot would say, it look like a tree trunk. The guy holding the tail would be like, it look like a lion or a lion tail. You know what I'm saying? All of them are right. There ain't none of them lying at all. But they don't have the full story. So they're all telling the truth, but not the whole truth. And they don't know that because they will all argue with each other because they're all blind to each other's facts. And they will reject each other's facts when all of them are really touching the same fucking elephant. Ain't that crazy? But all right, I'm out now. Peace.